show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah! Yeah! Who's ready to start breaking stuff? Boy, have they got me in rare form today. It's Reese on the radio right here live on this Friday on WTIC News Talk 1080. Scallywags, nutmeggers. Across the fruited plain, as Rush like to say. And, of course, I love you haters. Please know that I do. You have to understand, as the comedian Cat Williams said, if you stop complaining about your haters, get out there and get you some more. I'm working every day. Just letting you know. And it turns out, I may have some haters. And I'm glad I'm glad right now I had an opportunity to reflect. You may have all know. I know you're all tuning in. You're like, what is it, Reese? Give me a minute. It was a good thing that the word got out that I was not in a good place yesterday. Before my conversation with Dawn Matos was here. God bless her, by the way. I want to thank her because I know she's listening. My dear, you are an angel, and your husband a saint. I love the nice words he said to you on your Facebook page. It was like he wasn't even in the room with you. It was like in the living room going, I love you, sweetheart. You're a wonderful person. I love the fact that he wanted to show you some online love. And thank you again for being on the program. But when Dawn, before we even started our conversation, I get this message that really had me heated. And you got to understand why I was heated. Let me break it down for you. So, even to the people on the left, I want to make this abundantly clear. I got to deal with a mouse problem over here, not like an actual mouse, like a computer mouse. I never, ever go after anyone who does not deserve it. Now, I know it sounds a little cocky to say, who are you to say deserves that? If you're probably saying to yourself, those on the left, well, you go after Chris Murphy all the time. He did nothing to you. Chris Murphy does a lot to you. That's why I attack Chris Murphy. He's an elected official. When he screws up, when he does bonehead things, when he lies, when he is deceiving, he has earned the right to draw my ire. That's what the job description is. He's a bozo, he's a clown, he's a fool. He knows it. And if he ever sees me, I want him to say to me, what'd you say to me, boy? I want him to do it. So he deserves the ire that I give him. And if I see him face to face, I'm going to look him square in the face and say, what's up, bozo? You got something to say about your record? Where you been? But other people, when I meet them, and you've seen them here on this show, you know my record. Leftist, a person who's a righty, far righty, lunatic, crazy person, doesn't matter who it is. I have always treated that individual with respect when they come here and they break bread with me on this show. Sit across from me, have a conversation. Damn, I was on the phone with a communist, and it was a swimming exhibition between the both of us. He loved the show. I had another guy who was a socialist Marxist on the program, sat here for an hour and a half, loved the program. I could crap on a guy's idea right to his face, and when he leaves, he goes, man, I really love that. You want to know why? Because I'm always respectful. I'm kind, considerate, and respectful. And when everybody here was downing Ben Proto, they couldn't stop warning me about this guy. Ben Proto, Ben Proto, Ben Proto. Don't trust that guy. That guy's this, that guy's that. I said, all right, fine. Let me have him on the show. Just to tell you a little background. This is true, and I can say this honestly. That beautiful woman sitting right across from me right there, my wife, she knows because she'll tell you. She'll vouch for me right now. I just had to show your face, sweetheart, real quick. Because I'm showing everybody, I'm saying this right in front of my wife's face. Before my wife and I got together, people, the first time we ever had a conversation, came down to me, don't talk to her. She's like this, she's like that. You don't want to get to know her. Be careful. All you have to do is tell me the worst of a person, and I need to know more. Because if everybody's talking about you, that means if you become the sort of the direction of gossip, I got to find out what everybody's talking about. One, because I never trust the sheep. Never. So when everybody's saying Ben Proto's this, blah, 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 I immediately said, you know what, let me get the guy on the show. And I did. I got him on the program. I even wrote an article about him called Hating Ben Proto, which shows I don't pull any punches. I tell the truth. I ain't got nothing against the guy. Never have, never will. And yesterday, I'd gotten wind that Ben Proto may have stabbed me in the back. And that was the word I got. I said, what? I've been nothing but nice and gracious to that guy. I've never given him any reason to come after me. Is he bugging? What's the problem with me? I support the Republican Party with my blood. I've supported the Republicans in this state with my heart. I ain't even from here. And I stand 10 toes down. That's what the kids say. 10 toes down for the Republicans in this state. And every one of you rabble-rousers out there fed up. I stand with you. I go to war with you. I haven't even earned any stripes. I come at you as a private in your army. And when you guys want to go to war, I'm grabbing the flag and running ahead of you. Why? Because I believe in what we believe in. So it was a little off-putting to think that Ben Proto was stabbing me in the back. So I took a minute. People sent out some feelers, if you will, and said, yo, what's going on? Are you going after this guy? Because he's ready to go to war. And then I got word. It was nothing against me. But chill. There's more. When I set out to do the 11th commandment debate between Aaron Stewart, Ryan Fazio, and Betsy McCaughey, and any other Republican that wishes to run for the position of being governor of this state, I had one ground rule, and I stick by it. And that is, we are to make this party stronger, better, faster, and clearly more efficient. We are going to use the idea of attraction to our message instead of division. A lot of you didn't want to hear that on the Republican side. Did I crap on you about it? Not really, but I called you out when you were being unnecessary. I said, do you want to win? You all said yes. I asked you, have you won? You all said no. And I said, then let's try something different. And that's how I came up with the 11th commandment Republican gubernatorial debate. Long-winded it might be, but it is important to get that across, that the candidates come together and they pitch their ideas to you because you matter. And guess what? It is open to the public, Republican, Independent, Democrat, whack job, who has no idea what he wants to vote for. It is open to them so that they can get an opportunity to ask questions to see if there is something interesting that these candidates have to say that will tell them, you know what, I like this guy or gal. The other reason why I wanted to do it was because we understand the mediascape out here. Every one of them are acting as agents of the Lamont campaign. And you name somebody out there, if you got away, I don't care who you work with, FSB, WTIC, Connecticut, NBC, or Fox 60, I don't care who you are, News Channel 12, any one of you. If I'm lying, come at me. You are here to tank the Republican Party. You show them no love. You cover nothing of their concern. You know you want them to fail. So the whole reason why we're doing this debate is because if any one of those folks turn around and say, hey, come on down to our network and hold a debate, the Republicans will say, nah, we're good. We're good. We did that debate already. We shared our ideas with our constituents or our very possible voters. We made our case. Now we go on the campaign trail. And if nobody understands what that's about, if no one here understands that it is to protect the party from those who wish to undermine it, and you didn't call me, work on that. This isn't a brilliant idea. It's not like it hasn't been done before. All of this has been done before. I'm actually using stuff that works. And everyone knows it works. Do you want to know how I know? Because from what I see, now everybody in the Republican Party wants to do it. And guess what? I applaud you. Thank you for recognizing how good of an idea it is. I hope that you do the same thing and fortify our strength. I'm not going to call you a biter. I'm not going to call you a thief. I'm not going to call you anything. I'm going to call you an ally. So the note that Ben Proto put out allegedly to some candidates who never got it, apparently, because I just got word from every one of them. Only one candidate got the note. Didn't go to Fazio, didn't go to Betsy McCaughey. Went to Aaron Stewart's campaign, apparently, but it didn't go to anybody else. I just want to say, Ben, I read the note. Everything you wrote is exactly the sentiment of my debate. We will not let those who wish to destroy Republicans get away with it. We are going to secure the strength of this party. We're going to make sure that the people decide who is their candidate, and everyone is going to get behind whom we decide. There will be no backbiting. There will be no backstabbing. There will be unity. And it won't be a like it or not thing. It will be something they wish to engage with. We are not going to force people to take on a candidate that they don't like. We want this fair and square. We want people actually voting for the thing that they're voting for. We need to create a coalition where Aaron Stewart, if she wins, Fazio and Betsy McCaughey wish to help her. The same thing if Fazio wins. Aaron and McCaughey will work with Fazio. If Betsy turns around and wins, then Aaron and Fazio will join her and make sure they go after the prize. And that is defeating Ned Lamont. Don't you get it? No one cares who's contacting whom. No one's contacting anyone. I know there's this idea that a whole bunch of networks are saying, hey, let's hold a debate. Even if they are, we know what it's about. We know why they're doing it. And that's why we need to show a unified front. So, I'm going to try it one more time. Are you with us? Is everybody with us? If you're unaffiliated and you want to be affiliated, come with us. If you want to remain unaffiliated, God bless you. We have a job to do. And like I say all the time, if you want to join after the win, sure, no problem. But please, if you don't want to join us during the journey or during the fight, please get the hell out of our way. Kindly. That's all we're saying. Someone told me not too long ago, Reese, I know you think you're going to put the Republican Party on your back and win this whole thing. No, sir. I am not going to put the Republican Party on my back. I am going to stand with the Republican Party. And I'm going to run towards the fight. I'm going to run with people who wish to win. And we're going to find a way. We are going to scrap our ways into that office. And plenty more while we're at it. We don't need hope, folks. We need wins. And I'm in the win. Are you? I don't care who you are. Public official. I don't care if you're a kingmaker or a queenmaker. Are you in to win? And if you're not, we'll notice. We will see you. Don't come after me. Go after the fight. It's as simple as that. We'll take a break. We'll come back. And then we'll bring in my beautiful wife, who's probably chomping at the bit. All right. God bless you all. We love you. We will return. It's Reese on the radio.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
You're always going to make it weird on that, on those headphones. Anyway, we're back. Reese on the radio. Rozan is here. My beautiful other half. Welcome back.
Hi.
You like it? You back? Like being back?
I do.
It feels like you've been gone for a while.
It does.
You were here last Friday, right?
I was, but I've been coming in on Wednesdays for a couple of weeks.
That's what it was. You were coming in with more frequency with all of the weird weather stuff going on. And you sitting at home.
We'll call it the weird weather stuff.
Well, it was. It was weird, and it's like there's nothing to do in the house. Oh, and you also had
it was my ear.
You had an ear thing
my
going
tummy.
on. Yeah, that was all weird going on. So, you're back. You have been, how do I put this?
A pain in the butt?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you have been.
Ornery is what it's
called. Well, really, I was going for something far worse. Yesterday was an interesting day in our marriage because it was yesterday and this morning. It was one of the few times in our relationship where we go through this very contentious.
Let's call it what it is. I have been really grumpy, and there is no cause. There's no rhyme or reason. Everything feels like sandpaper right now. It's just, and I love you, but sometimes your voice is sandpaper in my ears, and I want to punch you in the throat. But it's not your fault. You're not I swear to God, you're not doing anything wrong. You haven't said anything. You haven't done anything. You're
in a place.
Yeah, and I want everybody to shut up and leave me alone.
Yeah. So even talking to you a little bit
makes me want to punch you in the ear.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. And I'm sitting up here going like, what could I have possibly done?
You're still breathing. That's the
problem. Wow.
You're breathing in the same space as me today, and that makes me want to punch you in your ear.
Right. And then it bled over a little bit, literally. It bled over a little bit to this morning. where you were being short with me, and it was one of the rare times where I had to yell at you.
You did yell at me.
And it was like I had to demand, because I didn't hear you. I was in the middle of watching something. You were trying to tell me something, and I was clearly focused on that, which I thought you were being rude, that you saw that it wasn't like was listening to you and then paid attention.
It doesn't matter.
I know.
You're the same regardless. You're very defensive when you're on your phone.
And then I had to stop what I was doing, and you were like,
forbid.
You were like, never mind, I'll do it myself. And I said, just tell me what the hell you want.
Yeah. Well, in my defense, you've kind of been like that extra. Like, you go through these cycles where you are really obsessive about work and you get super into it, and you forget that I'm more than just the person that makes your meals and washes your underwear. So sometimes I have to be a little ornery to get your attention, to remind you that there is an actual flesh and blood human being over here at the Emotions. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of in the middle of that. Well, you're at the beginning of that obsessive cycle. So, But on top of it, I had an appointment this morning, doctor's appointment, and it wasn't one I was particularly looking forward to. Most women don't look forward to this appointment.
Yes.
And it's a little nerve-wracking. And so, you're a little extra sensitive and,
Yeah. I hear you. Well, everything turned out okay, right?
Sure.
Okay. Well,
when you go get yours done, when you go get your exam done, I'm going to come in there and I'm going to...
You know how I am when I go to doctors.
I'm going to hold your hand. You're going to lie. You have to lie, which is why I have to go with you and tell the truth. Because
I do not lie at the doctors.
You're not honest. How about that?
I don't tell everything. You're not supposed to tell everything.
To the doctor?
Yeah, because he's nosy. He's asking me stuff like, how you feeling? I don't know if I should share that with you. What are you, my therapist?
And this is why you have a wife. How many bags of cookies do you eat in a day? I don't eat cookies. He had 3 yesterday. 3.
And I'm off sugar now. Which when I go to the doctors, imagine what he's going to say.
Right.
I've lost weight. I'm off sugar.
How many pounds of grapes have you eaten in a day?
I eat a lot of grapes.
You eat. Yes, I will spend $20, $25 on grapes, and you will eat the entire thing in 24 hours.
I really love grapes.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's expensive. You gripe about my expensive habits, but you have expensive habits too. Your grapes, your cashews, your almonds. Yeah, that's...
You?
Shut up. That doesn't count.
Anyway.
I don't count.
All right, well, we got a lot of stuff on deck for the show today. Rob Vardaro is going to be on the program at 4 o'clock. We're going to talk to him about...
Excited.
Yeah, I know you are. He is, of course, the guy who is now, I guess, pretty much infamous now for calling Chris Murphy a scumbag.
Thanks, man.
What?
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man. He was arrested afterwards. If you've seen the video online, he actually shows everything as it happens in, I think, about 3 or 4 parts, from his staging to the event as it took place. He
crossed the border.
Yeah, he crossed the border. He videotapes the whole thing with the 3-dimensional camera, even his arrest. The reaction of his arrest. Some people, he says this great line on the reaction to his arrest. He says, oh, look, these people care about law enforcement now. Like, they were all excited for law enforcement to lock him up. Now they're heroes. But we want to talk to him about all of that. If you haven't seen the video, you'll talk to him about that. We'll talk to him about that when he gets here, why he did it all the way from Connecticut. He's got a great story outside of that. He was a volunteer soldier or fighter in Ukraine. He was featured in a CBS This Morning piece that we got to watch yesterday about how he saved this one Ukrainian fighter's life.
And they don't edit it for him to say what he meant to say.
Yes, which is interesting.
He says it in his own words.
Yeah, so we'll talk to him about that. This guy is no joke. Again, Rob Vardaro is going to be here. We'll talk to him. Also, Betsy McCaughey is going to be joining the program at 5 o'clock, about 5:15. She wants to talk about a press release she just put out. I just got it here. It says how to eliminate the Connecticut state income tax, because Betsy has been getting a lot of pushback from people in the news media saying that it is impossible to do, even though the same news media outlets are seeing this like Florida, gone, Texas, gone. These things are eliminated in other states, and they're saying they're treating it in Connecticut's own. It's impossible. I'm like, that's crazy.
I bet these same guys are excited about getting a $200 check for their $800 electric bill.
Indeed they were.
That's right.
So we'll talk to her about that and her proposal. I'm going to get a chance to read it during the break, so we'll get that. We'll get her here to talk about that over the phone. To give you sort of a little breakdown of that, if you missed it in the opening monologue, I was led to believe that that the Connecticut GOP did not want candidates participating in any debates in the election, before the election or before the primary. And I was led to believe that there was, I guess, in some ways, an attack on the debate that WTIC is hosting on April 30th, that we are preparing for and we're going to get everybody to go to. And in so many ways, it was under the impression that the Connecticut GOP wanted to be the directive here. They wanted to direct any sort of debate, should it take place, and everything be run through them. The interesting part was we had already made our plans to do this. We already got the candidates to commit it. Well, at least two of them. We were still waiting on Aaron's campaign to commit, and we learned that part of the holdup was this letter that said, hey, perhaps we shouldn't do anything like this, which gave the impression, okay, maybe not do the WTIC debate. Our response to that, or my response to that, because in essence, this is my baby, my response to that is I'm in the same boat with the Connecticut GOP. I do not want the campaigns to be railroaded by operatives for Ned Lamont. And that, of course, is the news media. They know it. I know it. When I say the news media knows it, they know that I know that they know that they are running interference for his campaign. They have never, during my time here and everybody else's, they have shown absolutely no consideration for conservatives. It took us till now for them to pay attention to no taxes on tips and no taxes on overtime. Today, this is something we have been talking about since the open of session. And now the news media is covering it like it's important. We were way ahead of the curve. They are 3 to 4 weeks late on this. Okay? So we understand. And what we want the Connecticut GOP to understand is that we're doing this. The campaigns want to do this. They understand what we are trying to do. They know we are not trying to railroad them. Every one of these candidates are more qualified than the incumbent. And this is very important before I go to break. A lot of Republicans in this state already don't trust establishment Republicans in this state. For whatever reason that is, I don't care. But, just so you know, just so you know, trying to railroad this will not help. So as I said earlier, join us. You need to join us because we're not trying to hurt anybody here. But if anybody throws a wrench in this or puts up a roadblock, people will know. Okay? And it will not in any way engender any trust from anybody. Just so you know, and this is not on me. This is on the candidates, and this is on the will of the people in this state. I have nothing to do with that. All I did was say, hey, let's do this. And they all said yes. So, let's do this. We'll take a break. We'll be back.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Back, Reese on the radio right here live. Somebody asked the question, what is Reese's T-shirt about? Why would you ask Roland, Joseph? I'm right here. I'll be able to answer it. It's just saying that, this is America. Don't like it, suck it. That's what it reads. It's just what it reads. That's all. It's just very pro-America. I'm a very, I don't know why people don't understand it about me. And I know some of my friends back in the day don't. It's like, you're a real gung-ho American guy. And I'm just like, yep. You're supposed to be a gung-ho Russian guy? Yeah. It's not, it's not an either-or kind of deal. It's like.
It was like, chill, man. You're like a little too moto.
Yeah. I never, first of all, I've never understood people who don't appreciate America in a sense. Like I've always been moved by that when, I was just watching this great video somebody sent to me about Democrat, the whole Democrats not standing at the State of the Union thing. It's like, I remember whatever it was, there are moments in my life where something happened where I was truly inspired and I could almost feel my heart beating out of my chest. Mm-hmm. And those things were not just Americana, but that definitely was one of them. So, when I got sober, when I was really realizing that I was changing as a person, my heart was beating on my chest. It was like, really, I'm recognizing something about myself that I didn't know was true. I'm realizing a true me that I never thought existed. And I felt that. It was emotional, right? Mm-hmm. So that happened for me. When I quit smoking, when I knew that I wasn't going to smoke anymore, I'm going, don't roll your eyes. It's big to me. I'm not trying to throw it in your face.
No, it's 5-year anniversary.
This March will be this March 3rd will be 5 years. It's a big deal to me. Because it's like, I know what it was like to be dependent on that. And I'm like, I cannot believe that I have not had the urge to do that. And I no longer have that desire. It's like, it's liberating. I know what that feels like. My heart pops out of my chest over that feeling. I feel like I've overcome something.
Watching soldiers come home and,
yes.
Their dog is like, rawr! Like that's the greatest thing in the world.
You saw that Dorothy posted that.
I didn't see that.
Dorothy just showed me a picture of that video that I'm immediately overwhelmed by it. Yeah.
Certain things, just like you see Americans on the podium winning a medal at the Olympics. Doesn't matter what the sport, doesn't matter who they were up against. Americans got a medal. Gold, silver, bronze, I don't care. We medaled. That is America. Like that is, And
I think the moment for me, and I tell people this all the time, is that when I was a kid and I first heard Ronald Reagan's Rendezvous with Destiny speech, and again, knowing nothing about politics, nothing about politics. I just heard this speech because it was just there. And I'm listening to it, and I don't know why this man is affecting me in this way, and talking about my country is making me feel this way. And then I go into my class, and I say to my teacher, do you know who this Ronald Reagan guy is? Because I just wanted to ask him. When I asked anybody in my house, they were just like, that guy's a jerk. I really wanted to know, and no one was giving me any answers. And I just asked my teacher, and I was like, do you know anything about this Ronald Reagan guy? And I'll never forget, he looked both sides. He opened up the door, and he looked both ways. like this. Yeah, like he was like, who sent you? Who sent you? And I'm like, what? He goes, are you serious? You want to know about Ronald Reagan? I was like, yeah. He grabbed me. He was like, come here. He said, why are you interested in Ronald Reagan? And I told him, I said, I saw this speech. He goes, Rendezvous with Destiny, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, let me tell you. He sat down and he explained to me as a 10-year-old what the Republican Party was.
10, which means
10 years old.
I was 1.
Yeah. And he tells me that, and I just go, is it real? Like in my head, I'm going, is it really that important? And he says, you'll know when you know. Mm-hmm. And I went, okay. So I grew up.
What's his name again? You talk about him all the time.
Oh, that was Mr. Gershon.
Mr. Gershon, yeah.
And I'll never forget it, and it changed everything about what I knew. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to know more, and I would just, these names would come out on the news, I would see Sam Donaldson and, what's his name? Dan Rather, and people would come on. As I was getting older and wiser, Tom Brokaw starts taking over, and, Peter Jennings and all these other guys. As I'm getting older and they're in the news, and the people they were talking about, I could recognize their names. I'm like, I know who that guy is. I know that. Oh, that's Ed Meese. And I'm like, why am I knowing these people? And people were laughing at me going, you know these people's names.
Right, like average boys your age know.
Yeah, especially from Hollis, Queens. Why do you know all these people? And I was just like, I don't know. I just feel like it's important. And then, again, in my head, I'm going, is this ever going to be important? I feel like I'm just like trying to win on Jeopardy. You know what I mean? And then I realized that this is what I want to do. And I'm like, it was always there.
Isn't it funny how God sets up all these tiny little baby steps as you're developing and growing, and you don't know. I'm full of a lot of useless knowledge, and it's like, why? Right? Yeah. And as I've gotten older, I begin to appreciate why I have all this knowledge. Just building on it, and seeing where it takes you. And look where it's landed you, kid. Not too bad. Not too bad.
I really, really I'm telling you, I'll never forget. So these are the reasons why I'm a big gung-ho American guy, because I kind of feel like a kid like me got the opportunity that you normally wouldn't get. Most people don't get. I am the, I
woke up, from the age of 4 years old hearing Reveille. And that's how I knew.
Got to go to news. John Silva's up. We'll be back.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
All right, we're back. We've got guests coming in. Or at least the guest coming in. He's running a little late, but Rob Vardaro is going to be here on the program. We'll talk to him about his trip down to D.C. Apparently he's quite the traveler and quite the muckraker. He's my type.
I was going to say, sounds like my type of people. I like those guys.
So he'll be here. He was running a little late. He said he overslept, but then again, he is burning the candle at both ends with all the activism he's involved with. So we'll get him here as soon as possible. As soon as he gets here, we'll get him on the microphone. So yesterday I was looking into this, and you may have heard that right before 7 o'clock, a little more than 45 minutes after the show ended, that there was an emergency bill, and Senate Bill 298 was signed by, of course, majority party rule. A couple of Republicans, I should say, actually signed on a couple of these bills that were involved. I want to read a few of them to you. That was all a part of this emergency certification as a part of the package. One was the education policy package. And this says it adjusts states' reimbursement for specific school projects. Wyndham High region, Middlefield, multiple Hartford schools, Fairfield, Stamford, New London, creates a civics education seal for diplomas, expands data tracking for multilingual learners, makes kindergarten entry waivers optional for districts, then eliminates them by 2027, extends the moratorium on enforcing the racial imbalance law until July 1st, 2030, adds requirements for SRO memoranda, limits out-of-school suspensions for preschool grade 2, except serious harm. Yeah, in other words, that in order for a preschool to grade 2 kid to be suspended, there must be serious harm. Yes, pointing a gun. Yes, hopefully we do not relive that in Connecticut, Roseanne. The controversy related to this bill says it revives stalled 2025 items without fresh scrutiny. The racial imbalance pause delays state intervention in districts with documented demographic disparities. Specific project waivers and grants favor certain towns. Curriculum availability for Islamic and Arab studies. I know that burns you. You don't like that. Alongside an anti-Semitism work group. Okay?
Wait. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Raises questions of balance in required social studies materials. Yeah. And it did pass. Now, I don't understand that you have to have an anti-Semitism work group, but you have Arab and Islamic Studies.
This is America. This is America. If you want to study about Islam and Muslims, go to a Muslim Islamic country. There's 50 of them?
Can't you don't they do that at a mosque, though? I'm just saying.
Wait, we shouldn't even have mosques. I'm sorry. There's no reason why
we have religious freedom here.
There's no reason why entire communities should be subjected to that ridiculous screaming from loudspeakers.
Well,
Nobody wants to hear that.
Can we do
crap.
it? All right, listen. Can we have the
have
mosque?
an alarm on your phone and have your call to prayer crap go off on your phone. Now, if we want to study Islam, now I studied Islam when I was in the Army, when I was in basic training.
Okay.
Mostly because they had better snacks on Sundays. But I did go.
Can you just not be? I got so much stuff I have to get into here. You are off on the weeds on this one. I know it's going to set you off.
Basically, this is a giant DEI bill. That's what this is.
Okay. Let me get to my point here.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I have more stuff to cover. All right. I agree with you in the sense of you can learn about Islamic studies at a mosque just like you can go to Sunday school to learn about the Bible, right? This whole idea that they keep telling us to separate church from state, even though that is not anywhere in the Constitution.
It says church and state, not mosque and state.
Well, it's the same deal. It's a generalization.
Technicality.
It's a generalization. I knew you were going to make me go down this rabbit hole with you. Okay. Let me get to my point.
You should talk about that stuff at the end of the show. So you can be like, all right, thanks, everybody, bye.
My point is that separation of church and state apparently doesn't apply to Islamic and Arabic studies, which I don't. Yeah, I don't understand that. But anyway, I knew I was going to go to. Goodness gracious, I knew it. Municipal pension and disability offset. This bars municipal pension systems from reducing retiree benefits because of permanent or partial disability payments, effective for benefits on or after July 1st of 2026. Counts certain disability pay as wages, capped at 100% pre-injury, requires a study on moving local police fire pensions into a state plan. The controversy behind this is Connecticut Conference of Municipalities called it costly, a long-opposed unfunded mandate that will raise property taxes inserted into an emergency bill after years of failure in normal process by bypassing collective bargaining. It also passed.
I wouldn't want the state in charge of my retirement money. I wouldn't. And that's a proposal is taking pensions for fire and police and putting it under state control. Absolutely not.
Well,
absolutely not.
Firefighters Cancer Relief and Building Code. This accelerates a 5-cent telephone telecom fee into the firefighters cancer relief account. That starts on July of 26. Repeals a 2024 provision that would have allowed single exit stairways in some new multifamily buildings. Controversy behind this is fire safety priority versus housing density and affordability. Concerns that fire officials had opposed the single stair allowance. In essence, if you are in a home and you need to be able to leave, you should have a second entrance. If when one stairway is your only exit, that is a fatality rate that rises. It's sort of like the I always used to say about the gas mileage on vehicles. In order to make them longer, you had to make the car lighter. And what happens when you make the car lighter? You make them more dangerous. You have more car fatalities.
You know, if you go to Amazon, you can actually buy a ladder that attaches to the windowsill that goes out the window, and you can pick the size for which floor you're on.
Is that the one where the kid shows, I think it's on the video, where he pulls the little latch and the ladder comes out to the thing? I saw something like that.
I don't know.
I didn't know that.
It. So, I mean, you can make building codes more ridiculous and stringent and make it more costly, or you can just...
Yeah, you could put, because what usually happens is, in order to add something like that to your home, a town council will do something that says you have to get a particular
permit.
Permits,
You have to get, you have to meet certain codes, certain guidelines. You have to have certain materials. It's got to be this far away from that thing. And what if your house is too close to the neighbor's house? Now that's a fire. It's ridiculous. Just buy one of those ladders from Amazon.
This is the one that gets everybody, and it drives, as it should, everyone crazy, is the election and voter data rules. This is updates early voting ballot handling using tabulators, not envelopes. Moderator rules, same-day registration locations, return correction deadlines, ballot pre-approval by Secretary of State, exempts cast ballots from FOIA. In other words, no one can FOIA them. Restricts voter registration data disclosures. Limits to elections, scholarly, journalistic, political, and governmental purposes. Hides birth year in most cases. Fines up to $2,000 per violation. Requests go to local registrars. The controversy behind that, Democrats call it election security. The FOIA/data restrictions reduce public ability to scrutinize voter rolls, a tool used by watchdogs for integrity checks. They wish to eliminate that while adding procedural layers in an election year. Limit citizens' access while claiming protection. Invite skepticism about transparency. And it did pass, clearly, by majority Democrats. That's the one that's got everybody up in arms because this is a response to the lawsuit by the federal government to get those voter rolls. Not only that, we had voterfraud.org, Linda Sinkowitz, who was here, and that's the big deal to them. It's like everybody, every citizen who is concerned about who is on the voter rolls in their community. Somebody moves. I need to know if that person has been removed from the voter rolls. I need to be...
Are they dead? Are they a convicted felon? Have they moved out of the States? Are they serving in the military? Did a human being used to live here? Yes? Perfect. They vote here now.
Yeah. So... there's an entire video on voterfraud.org. Linda Sikowitz is the instructor on that, teaching people how to do that. What this bill that it was passed by Democrats would do was keep people from being able to get that information, if not beyond a FOIA request, but it may make it difficult even then. It could be refused to get that information.
I'm not going to lie. I think a FOIA request to get voter rolls is a little invasive, right? Like there was a point in time when who you voted for was very private. It was nobody's business, right? And that was something.
But I don't want to know. I don't want to know who you voted for, though.
But that was something we held sacred, right? I guess as long as we're not asking who you voted for, how are you registered? Well, like Republican, Democrat, Independent, which is really just Democrat light. That I don't think is necessary. I think what needs to be identified is date of birth, social security number, and like birth cert, like some sort of evidence of birth. Even William Tong thinks that's evasive, and that's his argument. Is William Tong even American?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Have you seen his birth certificate? I mean, I'm sure his mother had to have gotten married at one point. So how did she know how to change her name? So maybe he's not American. He might have been lied to.
Can you let me finish?
Sure. He doesn't look American.
You don't look American.
I know. I don't know what that means, but,
My point was...
I'm sorry. I'm on one, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me.
You're totally on one today. Let me get to my point. So William Tong is fighting against this. But again, this is the most important thing, right? If Susan Jones across the street from me comes by one day and says, hey, Reese, we just want to let you know it's been great living across the street from you for this many years, but we're moving, my husband got a job such and such, and we're going to same way we did in Texas, right? And then our close neighbors across the street, who are Democrats.
That they are.
Right? They are hardcore Democrats. They show up at the No King. Yeah, protesting like crazy. Heather and Al, we say Heather and Al. Heather and Al across the street are diehard anti-Trumpers.
Big time.
Right? And we talk to them, hang out with them all the time.
Sure.
You always hang out with Heather and you guys go back and forth, respectfully, on debates. Imagine we tell them, hey, we're moving. They know we're in Connecticut. Mm-hmm. And they check the voter rolls and they see, hey,
Well, I'm still a registered voter in Texas.
Correct.
I still have my driver's license. I still own a home. I still maintain my Texas residency.
Right. But
so I will vote in Texas, but I'm not doing a mail-in ballot. I don't think that should be allowed.
Right.
If I want to vote in Texas, I will make sure to schedule a week-long visit to see friends, family, whatever. Well, I don't know about family, but I'll make it a point to be in Texas so that I can vote.
Okay. But the point is that if knowing that, Heather could do two things. One, let them know, it's like, hey, these people don't live here anymore. And then that person will contact you and says, I understand you don't live across the street. Yes, I have a tenant who's living there. And yes, I'm currently in Connecticut. I am not registered to vote here. But even if they want to check, they can see if you're registered to vote here. And if they find
I don't
nothing,
think there's anything wrong with that.
Exactly. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But what they're doing here is they are preventing the average citizen who should be diligent about that if they care about their elections, because everybody should be able to say, hey, look, I don't want my election stolen. I don't want anybody lying about, who's here and who isn't.
I don't want illegals voting.
I don't want illegals voting. Exactly. That's the point. And making that a hurdle. This is not, again, just a hurdle for the average citizen who wants to know who's on the voter rolls. This is also pushing back against, watchdog groups who want to make sure that there's no.
Well, the benefit, like the only upside to that is that we do still have the federal government that's entitled to that information. Now, the state can make it really difficult. However, state law does not supersede federal law.
Indeed.
Federal law is the law of the land, right?
Yeah.
They're just making it more difficult. All they're doing, honestly, is if you want to be completely honest with yourself, if you looked at your two children and somebody did something wrong, but neither of them is fessing up, the one that is pushing back the hardest on proving the other person did wrong is usually the guilty party.
Usually the
right?
case.
It's not the kid going, I don't know, I stayed in my room. I mean, I did my homework. You know what I mean? It's the person who's screaming the loudest that's not fair. It's not, you never believe me. That's the person who's wrong. Almost every single time. And I only know this because I've had a couple of children and it's almost always the fact.
Yeah.
So you're making Connecticut look bad when you're like, we didn't do anything wrong. You can't look at us. It's contempt prior to investigation, right?
Yeah. It's this right here, I'm going to get back to the Islamic thing, because I know I know.
I want to say real quick, if you've got nothing to hide, then why are we fighting so hard to hide everything?
Exactly my point.
That's it. Okay, back to
I
Islam.
think they should have. But no, I want to talk to you about this because this is clearly a contentious thing for you.
Yes.
But I want to see if I can pull you back off the ledge on this one, because you are like. This angers you to some degree. I don't want people to think that you're some sort of like.
It doesn't anger me. It's frightening. It is frightening. If you see what is happening all over Europe with the rampant Islamic, I don't know what to call it, invasion, for lack of a better way. I mean, they are emigrating all over Europe in droves. I'm watching videos of Muslim men pushing French women down the stairs to a subway. I've seen videos of Muslim men walking around punching women in the face. Grabbing
like similar to that time we had the knockout game with the kids that were doing.
Muslim men are angry at European women. They grab them by the hair and throwing them to the ground, and men are trying to help. And you've got all of a sudden this gang of Muslim men come out beating up the men and the woman. Yeah. I mean, it's frightening. And then we see what we're doing in our country. 9/11 happened. That was a thing. Like.
Yeah,
Muslim terrorists flew airplanes into our buildings and crashed one into a field in Pennsylvania. I have friends who died in war in Afghanistan and Iraq. And we're just like, you know what, guys? Forget it. It's all good. We're going to let everybody in now.
You know what? This is the reason why I want to have this conversation with you. I'm going to wait until later on in the program. If not, we may have to make it a later date, because the pushback that's going to be on there is because a lot of people, I know they will say, Rozan, don't believe that about 9/11. It was an inside job.
I don't care. I served my country. I was there. I wasn't there, but I mean.
No.
I have a very different understanding of what transpired
Okay.
And I'm not completely convinced it wasn't an inside job. I'm thinking it was a multifaceted incident.
Right.
However,
yeah, you're just
when you see video of people in those third world countries cheering in the streets.
Yeah. I hear you.
When you see what they did to our pilots in Somalia.
I totally understand exactly what you're talking about.
I don't think they belong here. They don't like us. They've never liked us. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Stop trying to make us you.
This is and this is the reason why I'm bringing it up. Because
Somalians made Somalia what it is. Afghanis made Afghanistan what it is. Americans make America what it is. And if you import those people who hate us, look at what's happening in our country right now.
Okay. We will talk about it. I appreciate you. And I knew exactly what I was getting into when I mentioned it. We'll be back. More news, more views when we return. And Robert Vardaro is on his way. He should be here shortly. We'll return. It's Reese on the radio.
Listen to WTIC News Talk 1080 on the free Odyssey app. Download and like WTIC today for alerts on special programming.
All right, crazy lady. As luck would have it, everyone is responding to you. And I want to let everybody know Rozan is speaking straight from her heart. I don't schedule what she's going to say. Sometimes I get a little nervous. But she understands, that
I could lose my job. Oh,
no.
I don't get paid. Sorry. So.
No, it isn't that. I don't think, look, I know a lot of people who are going to listen to this are going to find what you say offensive. There are going to be other people who are going to say, hey, I totally agree with Rozan, which is exactly what I'm reading. Tara says, I agree, Rozan. We need to pay attention to what's happening in Europe. We don't pay attention, it will be here. Lori Maz responded to Tara saying it's already in New York, Texas, and Michigan.
Yep.
Also on X, the same sentiment was sent by Lisa O. She says, I love what Rozan is saying. People have to know what they invited into this country. And,
they did that question a couple years ago to women. Mm-hmm. Would you rather be stuck in the woods with a bear or a man? Mm-hmm. I think the question should now be to any American. Would you rather be stuck in the woods with a serial killer or a Muslim?
Okay.
because the serial killer...
But you know what they would answer.
You know the serial killer wants to kill you. The Muslim will pretend to be your friend, convert you to Islam, and then kill you.
Not all.
Well...
Not all.
The Quran literally, there are 109 verses that speak of war and murdering non-believers.
Yes, I'm well aware.
How many times do we talk about that in the Bible?
Not many.
What's the Jewish book?
The Torah.
The Torah. How many times do we talk about murdering non-believers in
you
the
said,
Torah?
What's the Jewish book?
I don't know what it's called.
It's called the Torah.
Well, I asked the right person then because I didn't know. I forgot. It slipped my perimenopausal mind.
It's all right. Listen, you have to understand that there's going to be some pushback.
Understood.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So, and I know that, look, I understand that you studied, so there's going to be this sort of point where people are going to say, well, I want to challenge what she's saying.
Call in.
860-522-WTIC. Let's go to Bill in Granby first. How are you, Bill?
Good, Reese. Doing great.
What's up?
Love listening to your wife. I agree with almost all. I got to give myself a little bit of a trapdoor, so I agree with almost all of them.
Appreciate it. What's up with you otherwise?
I wanted to give you, as a member of the Granby community, I know you have Josh Elliott coming up on Tuesday.
Yes.
So I wanted to give you a little inside skinny. I'm the president of the Granby Taxpayers Alliance, 175 members.
Okay.
And we're a bipartisan, nonpartisan group. So we've got Republicans, U's, all in a group.
Okay.
So here's what's going on with the Josh Elliott thing, just so you know when you
now,
talk to him.
I'm assuming that you're talking about the hot mic incident with the two young ladies.
100%.
Okay. Is there something that I missed in that story? Because I actually heard the video, even got the transcript.
Yeah, it's moved way beyond. So Granby residents are divided
Hold on. Wait. For some odd reason, Bill, you're cutting in and out for a quick reason. I don't know if you're on speaker or something like that, but you're cutting out every sentence, so I can't get everything. Just slow down a little bit or try to get someplace stationary so I can hear you. Try one more time.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Is that better?
It's still cutting off, but I'm going to try. Go for it.
Okay. So Granby residents are divided about what was said. Most Granby residents think it was unbecoming of elected officials, and everybody pretty much agrees it was a violation of the code of conduct.
Correct.
We have a professional code of conduct. Mm-hmm. So the whole debate about whether that was offensive or not, and of course Josh says it wasn't offensive to him, that's fine. But the debate in Granby is it was a violation of the code of conduct, and whether or not you support the candidate and you're on their political side or the opposite side, we don't want representatives behaving like that and representing Granby in that way, regardless of what party they're on. So that's number one. And then the question becomes, well, if they did violate the code of conduct, are we actually going to hold them accountable? And if we don't hold them accountable, then what does it mean to have a code of conduct in the future when somebody else violates the code of conduct? We can't hold them accountable either. So it has to be equal justice under the code of conduct.
Absolutely.
There's also a state statute that does not allow individuals to alter a public record. And
that's true. I totally read that.
Yes. Based on what I read of the state statute, it's very clear. I was skeptical because I thought the public record might start when the meeting is officially begun. But it actually includes everything when you put a mic out and you're in a public space using public equipment. According to the statute, every single thing that's recorded and captured is part of the public record.
That's correct. So it doesn't even matter if the meeting starts at 9 o'clock. If you begin the open forum, in other words, you can join. Yeah, if they make it allowable for you to join the conference at 8:45, at the moment of that 8:45, it is a part of that meeting.
Well, I think what he said was that because they're using city equipment, so the
That's
moment
correct.
they put those headphones on or that walkie on, they are now obligated to adhere to the code of conduct because they're utilizing public
state property or city property, yeah.
And any recordings that occur because of said property is now considered a matter of public record. It is no longer personal time. It is public record.
And what he's also saying is that these people, when they heard about it or when it was made public, they tried to erase it.
Which is...
Yeah.
Well, they didn't try. They did. They
did. Okay.
They did erase it. So this is very Nixonian where the cover-up is actually going to be worse than the crime, right?
Yeah, always is.
Now they broke the statute. So here's the deal. There are people in Granby that are now in the process of FOIAing emails to figure out who gave the code red. Who in Granby ordered that Granby Television take down the video, edit the video, and put up an altered version of the public record against the statute. So it's gone way past what was said and whether it was offensive into code of conduct and was a statute broken or not? And what are we going to do as Granby residents about those two things? Because if we don't hold people accountable now,
what's the point in having it?
You're 100% right, and you know what? And you're so right in the sense of the cover-up is worse than the crime, because in this case, even when WFSB spoke to both women, they said it had nothing to do, they were not making homophobic slurs. The person they were talking to or talking about, who said the 5 flames or all that other stuff, was another gay individual, which then lends itself to the original question, why did you try to edit the document?
Exactly, and they tried to edit it, and that brings up an even bigger question that I've been discussing with others in Granby, is how many times has Granby Television and somebody that's an elected official in Granby decided that they have license to edit videos and edit the public record, and how many times have material parts of meetings been edited out over the years and then published as if that was the actual record? That's something that we never thought of.
We got to gut the whole thing.
Yep.
Now it's a question about chain of custody and,
Well, there should be a third party involved.
Yeah, there should be a third party audit. of everything.
Right.
There should be a third party
Yeah.
responsible for recording and maintaining the records. Not an audit, but a third party that is bipartisan and just, this is my only job is to record.
You're talking about going forward. I'm saying that this opens up a can of worms to go backward. Is what I'm saying. Is that if this is something that they do, the question becomes how often have they done it?
Right. But if they've done it, and how are you supposed to find it if it's already been done?
Well, no. I would say that what he's saying is exactly that. If you can't audit the actual material, then you may have to audit the emails, because that's a good point. Finding the emails where who was the one who called the code red. Who is the one who said, go in?
Handle the truth.
So that's Bill. Thank you for all of that. And like I said, I've got Josh coming in on Tuesday. And you know what I'm going to do? You actually gave me more questions to ask him about that because of the cover up. And I think in a lot of ways, I mean, even though he's saying it's not a big deal to him, it may not be a big deal, but the cover up now makes it bigger than what it was.
And it's a big deal to Granby residents because we care about how we are represented in the public square. And even if Josh wasn't offended, we are offended that our code of conduct and possibly state statutes were broken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate you, man.
Okay, take care.
You got it. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting conversation with Josh when he gets here. Because I
think it says a lot. Okay, your favorite word.
Mm-hmm.
Which cannot be said on the radio because it's one of those big George Carlin numbers, right?
Yeah.
Those words. Your favorite word doesn't offend you. You find it hilarious. You love that word.
Yes.
In fact, when you say it, it makes me cringe. So it doesn't offend you.
Yeah.
But it offends me. Like if I heard somebody call you that, you're laughing, I'm likely to become violently rageful. And just because it didn't offend
Josh Elliott
doesn't mean that it doesn't offend others around him.
But it goes to the character of the people who used it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But if they're going to you have awfuls sitting up there going, oh, but we were totally talking about somebody else.
Yeah. We were talking to a gay guy, so we can use this.
No, didn't she say it was something about
she said
RFK or? No,
yes. She said Cokeback Mountain was about JFK, but
RFK. Jr.
Yeah, RFK. Right. But my point is that RFK is homosexual?
It doesn't matter. It is
no, but I'm saying it has no relevance.
Right, but we have these awfuls, these women who are liberals and the party of tolerance and acceptance.
Right.
Unless and until it's behind closed doors. So if they're willing to say that, imagine if he'd been black.
Oh, no, I know.
Gay
I know.
And black?
Oh, I know these. Listen.
Girl.
The party of the Klan is the party of the Klan.
Forever.
Ever and ever.
Forever, man.
Forever. All right, guys, stay on the line. I'll get to you shortly. We got to take a break real quick, and we'll return. And I just received word. I think Rob is very close by. I'll double check with him right now. I'll send him a text and see how close he is. All right, and we'll get to him in due course. All right, we'll be back. It's Reese on the radio.
It's Reese on the radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
I forgot to turn on my mics. Anyway, we're back. I'm reading this thing by Connecticut Senate Democrats. It says Connecticut Democrats or Senate Democrats demand Trump refund $2.3 billion to Connecticut families for illegal tariff tax. Quote, your tariffs were an illegal tax on American families. The Supreme Court of the United States has confirmed what we knew all along. You did not have the authority to impose them. For more than a year, Connecticut families paid the price at the grocery store, at the hardware store, and around the kitchen table. Now it's time for you to pay them back, make them whole. And my response to Connecticut Democrats, you first, start with Eversource. Did you hear what I said? You first start with Eversource and a public benefits charge. If you care so much about Connecticut families, start there. How about property taxes? Start there. You're all concerned about money being paid back to Connecticut families. You wish for them to get a refund. You first. That's what I tell all the civil rightsers. You first. And
the pro-immigration
illegals.
Yeah,
exactly. You first. You screaming a whole lot of nonsense about everybody is supposed to do. You screaming at the president of the United States. Oh, give Connecticut about. You really concerned about Connecticut being able to afford groceries? You first.
Taxes and...
I mean, you are in the front lines, Connecticut Democrats. You have a super majority. You're on the front line. That's funny that in the affordability argument, you put out a post like this talking mad smack about the president of the United States costing American families or Connecticut families a crap load of money, and you don't think you should go first?
What about the no tax on tips?
Yeah, what about that? I don't hear anything about the audacity to post that on Facebook. Here's what you do. Try this on for size. Delete the post. Huh? Delete it. Or get embarrassed. Because you should be embarrassed. Like, do you think no one would know? Do you think that anyone would look at that and not go, well, that's odd. Aren't you robbing us blind? You really want to holler at the president about the tariffs? Huh? There was an article today that tried to suggest that the whole Black & Decker thing was Trump's fault. Really? Really? Is Black & Decker leaving the country? Or are they just closing the store in Connecticut and going to move somewhere else in the United States? Wherever they move in the United States, guess who's the president there? Donald Trump. Like, who's this stupid?
What is the corporate tax in Connecticut?
Oh, I don't even know. I need to go over there.
Where's Black & Decker going?
I don't know. I didn't even actually read that story. Well, I just know that leaving 300 jobs are gone.
All right, let me do a quick, and then I'll let you know.
Yeah, you got it. I couldn't believe they had the audacity. I mean, listen to this quote. It shows you exactly how stupid some people are. And find the person who wrote it and fire them. Your tariffs were an illegal tax on American families. The Supreme Court of the United States has confirmed what we knew all along. You did not have the authority to impose them. For more than a year, Connecticut families paid the price at the grocery store, at the hardware store, and around the kitchen table. Now it's time for you to pay them back and make them whole. Connecticut Senate Democrats. Talk about the audacity. You know what I've got to say to Connecticut Democrats? Negro, please. You got to be full of the dumbest people in the world. The dumbest. Somebody in the Senate, Republicans, respond to this. Respond to this. Name all of the ways that Connecticut Democrats can make nutmeggers whole. What they can do today. Instead of some stupid statement on Facebook that the president will never read. Goodness gracious.
Okay, so in the state of Connecticut, there is an 8.25% corporate tax, and it says that Black & Decker is not leaving; they're just scaling back operations in the United States. Quote: as the company has been reducing operations in the U.S. due to various economic challenges, including rising production costs.
I wonder why. Let's take a break. Let's get our first check of weather and traffic. Tom O'Hanlon is in for Mark Christopher again in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Actually, I have to get rid of Roseanne's name on there because it's sitting in front of you, and it shouldn't even be in front of you. I was supposed to get you in here earlier. Rob is here. We'll talk to him in a second. Thank you for making it here. I know you overslept, so I appreciate you getting here as soon as you did. Did you speed any?
Don't want to comment. No comment.
He said, I got warrants. Don't get me in trouble. We'll talk to Rob. He is in here. A lot of people are excited for you to be here, man. So I promise you I'm going to make it worth your while to come all the way up here. I want to talk about everything that you've done in your past year, not just this one incident. Yeah. We saw a great video about you in Ukraine. I want to talk to you about that and everything else that you've done. I'm having this great opportunity right now just as a radio host talking to amazing people. Here we had Dawn on yesterday. Now we've got you and you folks. You know, a lot of people always use the term regular people. But let me tell you what I love about Donald Trump. He never, ever tells him. I remember he was at McDonald's, and the one guy walked up and said, what of an honor it was to meet him. I'm just an ordinary guy. And Trump looked at him and said, you're not ordinary.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
That is what I am learning more and more in this medium, is that there are so many fascinating people out there. There's no such thing as ordinary.
Yeah.
You know? Normal, as I say, is a setting on a washing machine. My wife taught me that one. And, everybody is extraordinary. You have an extraordinary story. I want to talk about that in a little bit. So thank you for getting here. I'll give you an opportunity to, chill out, because I know you were rushing to get here. Also want to find out what's going on. Does that say deport liberal white women?
Yes. I mean, I stand by it. So.
Roseanne just high-fived him. That is absolutely amazing. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's out, so we got Tom O'Hanlon. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. We'll be back.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
I want to make sure I get your camera right. You're just a little bit shorter than Roseanne. So I want to make sure I got you right here.
Blasting Drews.
Yeah, right. Reese on the radio, we're back. Rob Vardaro, am I pronouncing that right?
Yes,
Vardaro?
you said perfectly.
Yeah, Rob Vardaro is here, patriot, warrior, fighter, and I have to honestly say, Renaissance man. You are, just listening to your story behind the scenes as I'm getting to know you, because we barely had a chance. Usually we do sort of like a pre-interview, and I didn't get a chance to do that, which I'm actually happy about, because learning about it for the first time, I'm awestruck by you.
Oh, thank you.
Let me start by saying this. Folks, do not get the impression that Rob Vardaro was just some guy who ran up on stage with Chris Murphy to call him a scumbag. I have to say, with all due respect, my friend, you've earned the right to call him a scumbag.
Thank you. I
okay?
appreciate that.
You've earned the right. No. You've earned it with blood. Okay? You've earned it with blood, sweat, and tears, my friend.
Appreciate it.
Because you are a Marine, and we never say former, right? We say Marine.
That's true, yes.
You are a Marine. You are a war fighter. You are, what was your MOS? You were
331 as a machine gunner.
Okay, machine gunner.
Yeah.
And you've been in Ukraine?
Yes.
You told me just right before we went on air that you were there. Explain to me the whole ordeal. So you were at the border when weapons are supposed to come into Ukraine.
So what happens is the government, the U.S. government, they didn't want the weapons, they didn't want to be seen as hey, we're helping out Ukraine.
Right. They didn't want to be funding a proxy war, so to speak.
Exactly. So what they would do is they bring all this stuff to the border.
Right.
The issue with that is they didn't know where the stuff went.
Okay.
So I was in the front lines with no helmet. So when you see me get blown up by that mine, in the video, I have no helmet on because we have no gear, because none of it made it to the front lines yet. Wow. Because a lot of it, and some of it would end up in the Russian lines, so we'd push and go into the Russian lines, and some of the stuff would be there unused.
So Russians had our equipment.
Yeah, so it's obviously some Ukrainians got, but when you're handing stuff out to people, you also have separatists, right?
Yeah,
and there are Russian separatists that would help the Russian military out, so they'd grab the stuff and end up.
So in essence, it was like our U.S. military, whoever was supplying the weapons or anything for that matter, was going into the hands of whoever. It was like a hodgepodge of people with just
100%.
There's no sort of checks and balances.
None.
Hey, can I see your flag and who you represent?
Yeah, no, literally it was just handed out. It was literally just handed out.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And to tell, now you went to Ukraine. A lot of people in the news media and others thought you guys were, or called you mercenaries. In a lot, you laugh at that because did you ever have to answer for that sort of accusation by regular folks?
Well, I did. I got a lot of death threats and stuff like that all the time from a mixture of Russian and some Americans that just misunderstood what's going on.
Right. Tell us about that. How did that operation for you end up happening? I know you had a buddy.
Yeah. So one of my friends I served with in the Marines, he was Ukrainian. He went back to Ukraine. His family was killed in the beginning of the war, so he was like, "Hey, do you mind helping us out? We don't I don't know how to use javelins and stuff like that and Gustavs." And I was like, "Okay, I can help you with that." So literally, I just went across the border, and then I started helping my friends out. And then I'm within the first week, I think we were the first Americans wounded in the war.
Yeah.
I ended up getting blown up by a Russian landmine and stuff like that. And then I ran through the minefield, saving Ukrainian soldiers, ripped the dude out. Another mine exploded right under me, right when I did it. So And that was in the media, CBS News.
Yeah, CBS Morning News actually did a whole story with you and a woman, an American. Is she an American soldier? Or?
She's an American. So they originally didn't want her there, but she knew medical stuff.
Right.
And I said, I'm not going if she's not going, because they wouldn't allow medics to the front. Because we had so little medics, they didn't want to lose them.
Right.
So all the soldiers were just dying right away. This isn't like a normal war. Like, you would go with like 200 people and come back with like 12, 20 of you.
Holy moly.
It was like bodies everywhere. So, I was like, I'm not going unless we have this medic with us.
Yeah.
And they're like, and it was funny though, because like, okay, she can go then, because I was the only one that knew how to use the Gustav and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So, and you get there, you're saving lives, or at least trying to, and you're helping. So how long were you in Ukraine during this?
Man, it was off and on for a little bit, so I can't even give you like a time frame. But like when that happened, like it was like the first 2 weeks when I got blown up the first time. And that's just by that, like I said, that the Russian landmine. We didn't know they had mines set up everywhere.
Really?
And
were you home within a year, or?
Yeah, I kept coming back home. And,
and then going back out there even after injury?
Yeah. But I mean, like, I've been wounded before. Like, I've been blown up multiple times. Like, I got blown up in Afghanistan. I got blown up in Syria. I've been blown up in Ukraine. So I've been blown up like countless times. So this isn't like my first explosion rodeo. So
you say that so plainly, you know. And can you elaborate on that? Like, why you? Because you're looking at me like, well, this is what I do. Maybe the rest of us don't understand it because you keep going out into the fight.
I guess, like, in my mind is like, it could always be worse. You know what I mean? Like, you know, for instance, like, you know, like, I always think to myself, like, you know, I'm still here. You know, my friends aren't, right? So, like, and my friends, let's be real, like, they wouldn't want me crying for them. So, like, everyone when they're like Memorial Day, it's like, I'm so sad, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm not. My friends passed away so I could live in the best life for me and my daughter. You know? So it's one of these things where, like, I guess, like, to me, it's not that big of a deal because I'm still here. You know, and I still somehow have my limbs, right?
It's like, right. And having that... Yeah. Having that breath in your lungs means it's another day to go out and fight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I totally get that. But with that being said, I think a lot of people need to understand. Excuse me. What is this? Is this with you and the daughter?
Yeah. When we got our house. Because I was blown
You were
up.
so much thinner then.
I was. I was so thin back then. Hey, you go to Ukraine, you eat a lot of potatoes, okay? Like.
Oh, man. How long ago was this?
That was 2014. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Right. My research department over here, Roseanne will find us.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She found that in no time. Yeah. So we get here, and I want to say this, of course, to the people on the left who have seen you pull this stunt with Chris Murphy.
Yeah.
And you've been to other rallies.
I have, yes.
And you have gone out there and you fought for not just Donald Trump, but for the American way,
100%,
right?
Yeah.
Which in essence is saying that, you know, as the, you know, big argument was, you know, during the State of the Union speech about standing up for Americans over illegals.
Yes.
And you were there with the megaphone saying, you know, deport them all. You know, they've got to go. What was the exact phrase that you were using?
I'd say like deport them all, and that would be like, I would just basically take any slogan they have, and then throw illegal in there.
Yes.
So I'd be like, hey, hey, ho, ho, and I go, illegals gotta go. Like, they just like switch it up with their lingo.
So, and you are out there again with these people who, with all due respect, a lot of them haven't given the blood that you have for this country and have treated you, called you things like Nazi or traitor, when in essence you have given yourself to this great nation and sacrificed yourself in that way and gone back several times to defend what is right.
100%.
So they've got nothing on you as far as that's concerned.
That's why it doesn't bother me, actually, because they spit on me, they've punched me, and all this stuff. I'm like, to me, I'm like, really, that's all you have? You know what I mean? Like, so it's not that bad. It's not really the worst.
I totally hear you. I want to go to this. Let's play the piece because everybody loves it. It's Chris Murphy giving the speech, and here is Rob Vardaro interrupting said speech.
To explain the trials and tribulations that every immigrant, that every refugee goes through to get here, and to press this country to the border. They stuck at the border. Go Trump! Go Trump! Hey, Murphy, you're a scumbag. Thanks, man.
Let me tell you why it's the best, man, and the reason why we love it is like, you're like, yeah, I crossed the border. I crossed the border. Trump's the best. But when you say, hey, Murphy, you're a scumbag. And the fact that he did not know how to respond, but
like,
to hear him go,
like,
thanks, bud. Thank you, man.
You.
We are so, like, we watched that. I don't know if you heard this, but, well, I sent you the video of it. Everything I described happened just as it did. We're sitting there waiting for the address for the State of the Union.
Yeah.
And I say, oh, I got to watch that thing. And it wasn't literally the second that that you jump on is the moment that I turned on.
That was amazing.
The thing. Yeah. So you come up on the screen. Roseanne and I are like, she goes, what was that? And I go, we rewound it, thankfully, on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we watched it 5 times.
I love it. I love it.
But let's get to you getting there.
Yeah.
This was a plan from the beginning. You left Connecticut and went to D.C. for this rally.
Yes. And the thing is this, I was like, because to me it's super disrespectful to the Trump administration, and to be honest, any administration, to like say, hey, we're going to break away and do our own thing.
Yeah.
Like all you're doing is showing that you only care about one side of the aisle. You know what I mean? So when I cite, but it's typical behavior, right?
Right.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to go there, but I had no idea how it was going to be set up. I didn't know exactly where the location was. So I get there. I figure out where the location is.
How early did you get before the event? Because that starts at 8 p.m. When do you arrive?
So it was freezing cold out, and I got there probably about like noon.
Holy moly.
So
okay.
So I was just waiting and acting like some. So what I put on a sweatshirt that was just religious. It had nothing to do with like politics or anything like that. And I had my Ukrainian hat, and obviously they go, "We love Ukraine, but we know nothing about what's going on."
Yeah.
So
typical.
So anyways, people are coming up and like, "Oh, I hate Trump. I hate Trump." I'm like, "Oh, me too." Me too. Like I'm just going with them. Anyways, they start setting up. Do you want me to get into it? Like the whole thing?
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yeah, so they're setting up the
stage.
The stage, and I was like, "Hey, I'd love to help. I don't know what's going on here." So I played along with them. So I actually helped set up their border. So they actually had a metal cage around the entire thing. Yeah. so they're saying no one's illegal on stolen land, yet they set up their border.
Yeah.
So
we know Democrats.
Yeah. So,
but so you set up the border. You do this. Because in essence, you just become a volunteer, so now they trust you.
Yeah, 100%.
You're one of them.
Yeah.
Every time somebody says, we hate Trump, you're like, ditto. Scumbag, can't stand him.
Yeah.
which is so easy to do, right? It's so easy to infiltrate them because all they want is you to be compliant to their ideal.
100%.
So there it is, you are doing everything that they ask.
Yes.
So the moment, and I love this part of the video, and go to Rob Vardaro's page so you can see it because he captures everything from beginning to end. But the moment that you grab the fence and you break through the border, so to speak, there is a man standing there who can stop you.
Yes.
But he doesn't. He's hesitant because I'm assuming you've already set up a sort of trust with this person.
I did. So I was a nice little spy.
Yeah.
And I built trust with them, so I was actually allowed to hang out by that fence.
Right.
Anyone else, they'd be like, hey, can you back away?
Right.
And what they did is they opened it up, and I go, okay, well, now the border's open.
Yeah.
So this lady comes through, and I was like, I'm not going to touch anybody. I'm going to be peaceful. So I purposely wait for her to go through, and then I just run right in.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, wait, what? Like, he just realized he just got played.
Yes.
He didn't know how to react to it. So then I went on stage, and then that's
So now you and I spoke yesterday, and this was the one thing that you revealed to me, was that your intention was to get on stage when Murphy was there, but you wanted someone else to be there. You were hoping these two gentlemen would be on the stage together. You wanted Chris Murphy and whom else? And John Larson.
Yeah, because I've dealt with John Larson before, and he was. Can I say like anything? Like he was mentally unstable. So because
in your view, was he yelling and screaming?
He was not just yelling and screaming. Like you could see in his face, like he was out of it, and he was like, you killed Alex, like saying I did the shooting in Minneapolis.
Oh my goodness, he accused of killing Alex.
Yeah, it's in one of my videos. It's in one of my videos. Yeah, he's poking my chest, going, "You killed Alex. You killed him. You killed him." I go, "I killed him." I start laughing in his face. I go,
"No, he didn't."
Dead serious. You can watch it on my video. Yeah, it's one of my videos.
Okay, find that, Roseanne.
Yeah. It's going to be the video that has me with hey, ho, ho. Or the lady comes up to me and she calls me, you know what? And it's that video. So it's at the end of that.
Okay.
It comes up.
All right. Well, we'll find it during the break. We got a break coming up soon. So, all right. So you see Chris Murphy. Yeah. Your mark has arrived.
He has, yeah.
And you go for it. And I'm assuming because Chris Murphy's from Connecticut, he's probably, in a lot of ways, America's favorite scumbag.
It's true.
He kind of is.
He is, yeah.
You really wanted to just, now, was your intention to go up there to just insult him, or you just wanted to kind of like show them that their thing was a farce?
My thing is this. I want to show the hypocrisy of the situation, right? Yeah. So they go, we don't like borders, yet they had a border, right? I went up there with a sign, too, that I was going to rip like Nancy Pelosi to make a point, like, hey, look at this. Like, oh, no.
Yeah, ripping the State of the Union.
But it's one of these things where it's to show, like, you guys, like, to be honest, like, it's just doing their own tactics against them without doing anything violent to them.
Yeah.
So it shows their true colors. You know?
When we come back, speaking of violence, you had, I don't want to call it a harrowing, but you had a very surprising reaction from the police department and an individual who jumped up on stage to sort of thwart you or to stop you from that event. I want to tell everybody about that when we come back to sort of give a sort of understanding of where you are. The beautiful thing is, and I tell people this all the time, sometimes you have to record everything. And you were very brilliant on this to record everything, because if this case isn't thrown out, the individual who made the claim should have charges against 100%.
them. 100% is written statements.
He has written statements, which, again, are out-and-out lies.
100%.
The fact that he didn't know that all of this was being videotaped or that cameras weren't rolling is astonishing to me. But then again, it shows how ignorant half of these people are. But I want to talk a little bit more about that. Talk about what you're doing. Is it independent? Are you with any groups? I know a lot of people know you, but I want to talk a little bit about that as well so that everybody can get to know you, where to follow you. And should we expect any further stunts? Because I'm going to follow you, see if I can join in a little. Because, no, not in a way that gets me arrested, Rozan.
That was not intentional.
That was unintentional. Let's get to some weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's out. We got Tom O'Hanlon. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
Stay locked in. Reese on the radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we are back and we are live. And we're having some great fun in the background. Rob Vardaro is here, and we're talking about, we just watched his exchange with John Larson, and it was funny to watch. I've heard him animated before, and he's got this gravelly voice, but you know what I love about him? Let me tell you something. This is the truth.
Yeah.
Every politician I know, with the exception of Richard Blumenthal, always has somebody playing interference. It was like, no. John Larson will get right up in your face and argue with you.
Yes.
Even if it's nonsensical stuff, he will debate with you. In that video, he is like, you guys are right in each other's faces like, you don't know what you're talking about.
He went up to me, so I went to him, but then he started pushing up on me and pointing his finger at me. He's like, you did it to Alex, or whatever. You did it. I go, I didn't do anything, dude.
But it's great. I'm just telling you, it's fantastic to watch you out there working, because you keep your hands down.
100%.
You deal with these people with the patience. It's your military background. I know that. You just have that discipline. But we're going to ask it in a bit. I'm going to ask it now, but we're going to get into a whole bunch of other stuff with what you're doing and why you're doing it. But you decided after you got home from Ukraine and you saw the country go wackadoodle.
100%.
And you couldn't take it.
No.
And that inspired you to, I guess, I don't know, start this campaign where you were just going to expose these people, just rabble-rouse them. What's the focus of this?
So my whole thing was, I was like, these people, I was like, so I see them protesting what they're doing to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, I literally just said one day, I'm like, okay, this is enough. And I go, I'm going to go to one of these protests and just be like, literally just countering them.
Yeah.
But using their own tactics against them. Right. So I would go there and just root against everything they're rooting for, because it's what I actually believe in.
Yeah.
So I go there, and what ended up happening is they start showing the true characters, because what they want is you to get violent with them.
Yeah.
So they can say, hey, this conserve attacked innocent protesters.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't put my hands on them, so they can't do that.
Yeah.
So
you've been able to expose exactly who they
100%.
are. I do believe that there is one thing that will become an advantage for you, but it isn't there yet. Because you are sort of growing on the scene, everybody here in Connecticut knows you. It looks like a lot of people know you and they're learning about you.
Yeah.
Your popularity, once it grows, even those people on the left who are going to understand that you are a Marine, that you fought for this country abroad, that you've sacrificed your body, it's going to be difficult to frame you as some sort of lunatic who didn't earn the right to protest back to these people for a country that you love, because in a lot of ways they will understand you clearly love it more than them.
100%, yeah.
So, and again, I wish it didn't have to be framed that way, but that's the way it is. So when we come back, I want to tell you that what you need to understand is going to put you in a particular place, and I need you to be ready for it. Because if you are going to continue to do this, I'm going to give you the tools to fight them.
All right, perfect. Thank
okay?
You. Yeah.
So stick around for that. More with Rob Vardaro when we return. Let's get another check of weather and traffic right here with Tom O'Hanlon, who's in for Mark Christopher in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
The NAACP calls him, whoa, I don't think I'm allowed to read this.
It's Reese on the radio.
Let's just say some people are not fans.
On News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
We're back. It's Reese on the radio. We're here with Rob Vardaro, patriot, activist, rabble-rouser, muckraker. I love that word. That's my favorite word. Going out on the front lines, home and abroad, it looks like, to fight back against these folks. Do you have a mission statement, if there's any? Do you just want to disrupt this sort of mayhem that you see happening here in Connecticut and everywhere else?
My whole thing is to show the hypocrisy to it, and also confront the leaders of the party, because once again, they are part of the problem. They're the major part of the problem, because they're saying, hey, go do this.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is causing, not just putting people's lives in danger, they're also literally causing illegal activity to happen because of it. You know?
It's violence.
It's super violent.
It's violence, and there's vandalism, and people's property is being destroyed. Businesses are being destroyed
100%.
because of this. It is all funded and well funded.
100%.
And there aren't. I see some of the counter protesters who are out there. They're very professional. Some of them are just out there, let's be honest, some of them are cracking heads a little bit. They're getting, a little violent. I've always got a problem with that
100%.
because I think it just exacerbates all of it. But you have and that's the interesting part about this, is that you've been to war.
Yes.
You've actually had to shoot at people, if not kill them.
100%, yeah.
So to come back here and deal with your fellow citizens and do it in a peaceful way, no matter how violent they are towards you, is a patience that a lot of people couldn't understand considering your background.
Yeah, no, it's one of these things where, I guess, because, multiple times I've been encircled by, for example, Russians, right? And the only thing in my thought is I'm never going to see my daughter again, and I'm going to fight my way out of it. But so my mindset's always been when I get surrounded by these people and stuff like that, I'm what's the, I'm not really afraid of it. You know what I mean? I guess my fear has gone because of all this stuff I've been through, I guess. I don't have that, reaction of fight or flight. It's just always just been all right, well, I'm here, and if you have a problem with me, too bad.
Yeah.
So,
my wife was saying that I need to make sure that I bring up, the fact that you have been blown up. That was the reason why I'm sort of segueing into that.
Okay, yeah.
Because having that happen to you, how many times?
It's happened 7 or 8. It could have been, I think it's 7.
Okay, so about 7 times. There's so many you can't count anymore.
Yeah, it's all blended together.
So,
much,
and these things have been, we're talking shrapnel, we're talking considerable damage, concussions.
Tons of concussions, yeah.
And you make it out, and you know that that's going to be the situation you may face again, but yet you go out there. Okay, aside from calling you crazy, that would be just the thing. You're not a thrill seeker, because I know that's not your deal. Is you are dedicated to the fight.
Yes, I'm dedicated. My mindset has always been like helping people. Like that's also why I joined the military. It wasn't like, oh, I want to go eliminate people, right? My mindset was always, how do I get close to the front lines and actually help fellow Americans that are in this situation? And I felt infantry was the only way to do it because if I'm a medic, it's not guaranteed. Yeah. So I want to make sure I'm there because I could be stationed at like Lejeune, right? Yeah. So I want to actually do my part and help people. And that's always been my mindset. And when I see what they've done to women and children especially, I won't get into it on the radio, but the most horrific stuff, some of the most horrific stuff I've ever seen, it makes you go, okay, I'm doing the right thing, and I'm doing it for these people. Because it always reminds me of my own child. Like, every time I see a child, and that's what I tell my daughter, I'm like, she's like, why do you go back? And I'm like, well, because the thing is, like, I think of you every time I see these people, and that's the truth,
I mean, and I can see from me looking at you and knowing that you have a daughter, what the counter to that is. There are plenty of people who have no dog in this fight, whether or not they're left or right. They're going to say, Rob, but what about your daughter having her dad come back?
Exactly.
She could very well lose you. Aren't you sort of putting her future in jeopardy? How do you get that conversation? How do you get your daughter to become, because when you go to war, as they always say in the military, your family goes with you.
Yes,
or,
100%.
in a lot of ways. Tell me how your communication. How old is your daughter now?
She's 15.
Okay, so teenager.
Yeah.
Oh, tough time. Okay, well, but at 15 they usually hate their parents. No, I'm kidding. No, but how do you have that conversation when you go back into the fight and tell your daughter, look, Dad's got to go? And does she understand, or how do you make her comfortable with it?
Well, the thing is, she's never going to be fully comfortable with that kind of situation when it comes to a war. Like with this, it's way different. Yeah. But when it comes to a war, she has brought up, Dad, I don't have a mom. I can't lose you, And I go, honey, I love you, and I know that. And the thing is this, in my mind, I go, like, I'm going to do everything in my best ability to come home to my daughter, but at the same time, I guess the guilt of not helping people at that time, because I'm done with war now, and I told her that, so she's fine.
She's okay.
She's like, okay, go do your protests.
Yeah,
I'd rather you do that. But yeah, when it comes to like war, she was more terrified because I've almost died so many times, especially with the Ukraine war itself. So
when you come home after being blown up like so many times. What was her reaction to that? She was just like, "Why do you do this, Dad?" Like,
okay. So it's funny because I got blown up, and I was like, someone gave me a cigarette, but I was like super concussed, and I was on the news from it, and I call her up, and I'm like, "Honey, I just want to tell you, I've been blown up," and she's like, and this is when she was younger, so she, so she's like, "Dad, I'm really upset with you." I'm like, "I know, I'm sorry, but I'm okay," and she's like, "You were smoking a cigarette that could kill you," and I go, "You are the best. You are like." That to me was the sweetest thing ever, because like she was like more worried about me getting lung cancer, but
that is great.
She's blown up by a landmine.
Yeah, that's okay. You know what? That's that is a typical kid's response.
That's what you do.
When you raise your child to think that smoking is like the worst sin, Dad got blown up. Yes, but you were smoking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's the most adorable thing ever.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, your daughter's a saint for just looking at it that way. So even on the protest front, she's a teenager. Yeah. Now they want girls her age or kids her age to get activated, so to speak. Kids in high schools are going out doing walkouts. It's the go along, get along crowd. She's in high school. How do you deal with that?
She's, like, I've never tried to control my daughter's beliefs,
Okay.
But she also is like, she sees that stuff and she goes,
she's your daughter. She's your father's daughter.
But also at the same time, like, we all know, like, 50 or let's be real, 90% just want to leave the school.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, they don't even know what they're protesting. Right. Okay. So and the problem is, these parents are supporting it and some of the school staff support it. Yeah. So I went to the Groton school protest or whatever, but then I was like, this is dealing with kids. I don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
Because they're kids. But you see there was more parents there than there were kids.
Of course.
And it just shows that hey, you're using your children. That's what it is. It's using your children to fight your battles. See, I'm the opposite. I protect my child. I protect other children in other countries, right? Yeah. But I refuse to
never use them. Never use them.
Hey,
that's a real liberal tactic, man.
It'd be like what they do is like personal attacks. So when they come at me, they're also like, "Oh, and your kid," because they have nothing else. So they throw your
your child in there.
At you.
Oh no, it's very, very, it's very typical.
It's the last thing the last resort they have. And then when I don't react the way they want, because they get really upset about it, and then they then go crazy. So.
I remember when I was a kid. It's funny you talk about that, how the left throws their kids in. You know, it was the first time I realized that. I was watching some conversation with Jimmy Carter. And Jimmy Carter was asked a question about nuclear war, and his response was, you know, my daughter Amy just asked me about that. Now, I'm almost certain at the time his daughter Amy was 8. And I'm going, what is your daughter talking to you about nuclear war?
What's on Sesame Street?
Exactly. Elmo wants to blow things up. I'm like, what are you watching? So it's like, look, I thought that was weird that he would actually bring it. Then it happened again when Obama during the Deepwater Horizon, the oil spill.
The oil spill.
And then he said he was doing a press conference and he says, my daughter Sasha walked in and says, Daddy, are you going to plug the hole? I'm like, Daddy's not going to do a thing. Daddy's going to send professionals to plug the hole.
Scrawny Dad's going to go plug that hole.
Like, and I'm like, why are you bringing your daughter into this? Ironically, he is on the TV right now, Barack Obama. I'm like, why would you? I was like, why would you even bring up? Like, why do these people always want to throw their kids into the mix? I never understood that.
Yeah.
So when you have these. When your daughter is being is she being like influenced by this? Does she talk to you about kids being sort of activated? I like using that term.
Well, she not really, like, because most of the kids, like, it's either like 50-50 with them, but most of them, it's like they go to these, they do it because their parents are telling them stuff, right? Like, I don't go to my daughter and be like, oh, this is what you believe. This is your mindset. Like, these people go to their kids and go, Donald Trump is this.
Yeah.
They're all this. And it's like, you just, like, over half the country voted for him. You literally are like saying horrible things about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
well, it's great to have a 15-year-old that you don't have to mold in any way.
No, 100%.
She's not like a 15-year-old could be embarrassed by her dad running around the country doing these things. How's she doing with that?
At first she was like, Dad, like, really? But then when she saw that, like, because at first the comments I were getting were anti-me, right?
Yeah.
They were all leftists, like, attacking me.
Yeah.
And she goes, Dad,
people are saying this.
Yeah, and then the next day, like, when I posted the one video of me doing that with Larson, that kind of went like minor viral.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening is she was like, okay, like, I support you doing this now. Because then all her own friends, like, her generation started watching my videos.
Ooh.
And I started getting messages from like 17, 18-year-old kids saying, hey, you know, I didn't know where I was on the fence. And this is like legit, like, I didn't know where I was on the fence with this, but after watching your videos and stuff like that, like, it really changed my perspective.
Yeah.
So it gave me more of a reason to be like, okay, I'm helping people literally about to go to college. You know, and are literally about to start their future.
Yeah.
So they don't go.
And it's organic.
This. It is.
It's organic.
100%.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
People don't understand that. And I love it, just like you. It really does inspire me to do more, or at least that I have some sort of mission. When you hear from somebody, I get letters all the time quietly.
Yeah.
You know, before I started listening to your show, Reese, I was way on the left. I started listening to you, and then the stuff you would present, it actually made your case. And I started thinking a different way. And it was like, I would tell people all the time, my job here is not to tell you what to think. It's for you to think.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
100%.
And you can disagree. It's about thinking, not about thinking what I think. Think. And I present my case. If you can disprove it, have at it. There's a telephone number available. You can contact me in the chat room if you want to challenge me on it. But it's never about forcing people what to think. So I thank you for doing what you're doing. It is risque and risky to do it nonetheless, but it is important work that's getting done. You and I have our telephone numbers. If you got something going on that you need to tell me about, or, you know, tell me to look out for that you're doing, give me a heads up so that, you know, when it happens, we can cover it. Real quick before we get out of here, this person that you were up on the stage with when you called Chris Murphy a scumbag.
Yes.
He filed an assault charge against you.
He did.
Tell me a little about that.
Yeah, so he didn't know I had an Insta360 camera. He didn't know I had a camera that could record everything. So what he said was, I pushed through, and it's a written statement. I pushed him through the gate.
Yeah,
basically.
you attacked him and pushed him through so you can get through
to the gate, which you can clearly see. None of that happened. He wasn't even in that area.
Yeah.
And then I went on stage, and he said he was pushing me back, and I shoved him multiple times.
Yeah.
Which clearly you never saw happen. Mm-hmm. So the police arrested me for assault and I told the police, I go, and this is a problem with the Capitol Police. Is like I said, hey, like I have footage that disproves all this, and they said I don't care, take it to court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also said that these officers, and you're not condemning all of them, but these particular officers, there were several officers, I guess, at booking that were making comments about your Trump hat.
Yeah. Yeah, they basically called it a stupid hat, and then they were like, they basically were saying I was a disgrace to my disgrace to the military, pretty much.
Wow.
It was that kind of like level.
You were a disgrace to the military.
When they're Capitol, I'm going to be real. Like, I don't like to compare, situations, but like, dude, like, how do you compare yourself to me when you're literally booking me for assault I didn't do? Like, I have no respect for you at that point. But then when you start saying horrible things about me when you don't know me.
Yeah, because there's no impartiality in that sense. It's like no objectivity.
And it shows they have a bias already. You know? So I go into that situation knowing there's a bias against me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to do okay because you have all the video. You've posted it online.
100%.
You've made it clear. You're going to go to court. I know that there is a campaign to fund your defense.
Yes.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
I mean, somebody.
Yeah, no, people suggest I literally started today because people were like, hey, how do we help you? And I feel bad taking money from people because I'm like, I made these choices, right? It's like going to war, right? Like people are like, I feel bad you got blown up. I don't, because I made this choice.
All right.
So, I did this campaign. I'm like, and I also like literally the organization people made false accusations and written it down. Yeah. So there should be some sort of consequence for that action.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So they can find you at Rob Vardaro, and that's Vardaro.
Correct.
Again, Rob Vardaro, Vardaro. You can find him on Facebook. Can they find the links
to
the? It's all there.
Yeah.
So go check them out. You're going to be back. Keep me updated on this case.
Absolutely.
All right. So whenever you need to, please do. Don't worry about, hey, I don't want to bother Reese on the radio. Contact me. Seriously, okay?
I will.
Because people are going to ask for a follow-up, and if I don't give it, I'm going to yell at you.
All right. Perfect.
Okay? Because they're going to want it. We're going to consider you a member of the Reese on the radio family.
Thank you so much.
And we appreciate everything that you did. Most importantly, calling Chris Murphy a scumbag. I'm telling you right from the bottom of my heart. That is my favorite. Wait a minute. What's going on with my audio? Did my audio not work? Oh, that's not good. They kicked my audio out. Who kicked your audio? I don't know. My audio's not playing. That's weird. Anyway, that's okay.
I don't have any crayons for you, so I
apologize. Oh, it's okay. I only like the colored ones with the sparkles in them.
What crayons are you talking about?
It's that marine thing.
Oh, goodness gracious. It's an Army Marine. I have to deal with this every time. Let's get Rob. Thank you again. Hey. Rob Vardaro, everybody.
Thank you so much.
We'll be back. Mark Christopher's out. We've got Tom O'Hanlon. He is with the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
The hour that packs a punch. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Now, of course, I forgot to get rid of. There it is. I know I got this right. I know exactly what I'm doing. There she is, Reese and Rozan on the radio. Hello, my dear. Welcome back. Darling. And we'll try not to lose our minds here after having Rob Vardaro on the program. He was a great guest. I love the fact that
I'm totally fangirling.
Yeah?
Hardcore, yeah.
He and Dawn were on the show. I love having both of them, just, local folks from the neighborhood doing the greatest good, fighting for the country. Love it, fighting for what's right. And having them on is a big deal. So that meant everything to me. John Flynn was was in the phone bank, and I know that John is kind of new to listening to the show, but I know people get mad at me about that. Reese on the radio is not a call-in show. I hate to call it that. I take phone calls, but
Reese on the radio isn't a call-in at home either. Like Reese doesn't even respond to my text messages. I have to yell at Reese repeatedly to pay attention to me when I'm speaking to him in person, like face to face. So I apologize. He doesn't answer phones. It's not you. It's him.
Yeah,
I promise.
It is me. And I just don't do the whole refereeing, the caller with the guest, and they're asking all these questions, because then if the caller is asking a question, if they don't like the answer, then they want to go on, and then they think they're being cut off, and it creates this whole animus, and it's like, people's like, well, you don't let me to go on and on and on. I'm like, no, that's the reason why I don't do it. Even if they love the guest, it doesn't work for me. And it turns into me being a referee, trying to tell people, then I got to be rude. I was like, sorry, got to let you go and move on. I've seen it done, and people behind the scenes hate it because it derails everything. And if it's an opportunity, trust me when I tell you, when I'm going to have an interview with someone, I've got great questions, and it's going to be a great interview. I hate to sound so arrogant, but I'm right on this. Trust me, I'm right on this. Rob was fantastic.
It's the humility for me. It's still the thing I love
turns
the
you
most
on, right?
about you is your humility.
Still turns you on.
Oh, my God.
I know you love it. I know you love it. When we come back, Betsy McCaughey is going to join us. She's going to talk about how she is going to turn Connecticut into a tax-free state. If you give her a chance. We'll give equal time to everybody else if you want to call in.
That's right.
We definitely believe in equal time. We will not treat you like Jasmine Crockett. We'll be back in a second. Mark Christopher's out. Tom O'Hanlon, he's got traffic. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon, and you're listening to Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. It's Reese on the Radio. Yeah, see, my audio's not working.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm really, really upset about it. I don't know. Nothing changed. I don't think I hit anything on
here. Is it just time for a new box?
It says offline mix, and that's clearly not it.
Is it time for a new box?
And I don't know.
You just want a new toy.
It's clearly not that. I don't want a new toy. That's not what it's about. It's just not. Darn thing doesn't work anymore. It's weird. Yeah, nothing. It's not coming through at all. That's just weird. It says that. I don't know. Whatever. I'll figure it out. Maybe on Monday. Michael A. says, great guest, Reese. Thank you very much. Zena says, goodbye, Rob. John Flynn, of course, says, excellent job. Melody says, thank you, Rob. Craig in the car says, you guys look like photo negatives of one another. Just saying. Thank you. Knucklehead.
I don't get it. No,
it's just not whatever. Lori Maz is, I don't know, she was talking about the Torah. Okay. Well, somebody was telling me about a restaurant that we need to go to. Now, let me just do this because they are calling all the way from someplace in Connecticut.
I know, I just lost them.
Hey, no, I've got you right here, Betsy.
What's going on now? I lost them.
Betsy, I got you. Betsy, can you hear me? I don't think she can hear me. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can put them on hold real quick. Roland, can you check and see? She thinks she lost us. We may be having an audio problem. I can hear her, but she cannot hear me, and I'm not sure exactly why. Again, I didn't touch anything over here. Could you hear her? Is she good? Oh, okay. All right. Let me get back to it. Betsy McCaughey, gubernatorial candidate for the Republican Party. Betsy McCaughey's on the line. Hello, Betsy.
Hello, Betsy McCaughey, tax eliminator.
Betsy, you are doing something that a lot of people in Connecticut are naysaying. They say that there's no way, Betsy, you can't be done, Betsy. There's no way you can eliminate the income tax in Connecticut. She's off the rails. Explain to the people how you intend to get it done.
Absolutely. And let me start by saying being a high-tax, no-growth state is not an act of nature. It is the result of bad decisions, mostly by spendaholic Democrats. But we can turn this around, and all you have to do to know it's possible is look across these 48 continental states in the United States and see how many of them, Reese, are already doing it. They're zeroing out their income tax. And just last month, the White House put out a report by their Council of Economic Advisors urging every state to get rid of its state income tax because it's an economy killer. It's a job killer. Look at Stanley Black & Decker leaving New Britain. Guess why? Taxes, right? So here's how it's done, and I want to urge everyone listening, it is so generous of you, Reese. You're such a freedom fighter to have this session. Anybody can come to the website, Betsy 2026. The whole plan is right there. You can read it, every single word of it. So here's how it's done in state after state, South Carolina, Kentucky, Mississippi, every state that wants jobs and growth and higher wages. What they do is they pass a law that says whenever revenue grows, whenever the state collects more money by 5%, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of being allowed to spend it, the governor's hands are tied, the legislature's hands are tied. They must reduce the income tax rate instead. Not discretionary. That's what has to happen. And this is what's happening in all these other states. They're zooming to zero because when you first announce that your state is going to be a zero income tax state, companies start to move in.
Sure do.
You're going to see the trucks on 84, 95, 91 loaded with business equipment, home furnishings coming back to Connecticut. And there's an overall major increase in business activity. In fact, the White House said when you eliminate the state income tax in Connecticut, they pointed specifically to Connecticut. They said when you eliminate the state income tax in Connecticut, here's what will happen. The average wage will increase by $6,500 or $6,700. That's not because you have more money in your pocket from not paying taxes. That's an increase in your pre-tax income.
Yeah,
right?
There you go. Exactly.
So everybody's going to be earning more. And business startups, listen to this, will go up by 21 to 26% the first year. All these friends listening who have always dreamed of starting a business, this will be the time to do it.
That's a great point. But, of course, you know, and I'm hoping, to be honest with you, how do you feel about it giving sort of the goods so early on? You know, some other people are either going to fight back or they're going to start attaching it to their campaigns. Nothing against that.
Hey,
I'm sure you encourage them.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery. And you know what? I'm doing this for Connecticut. This is my legacy. This is my most important gift to Connecticut. And I feel that, take it. It's for you, right? Yeah. This is not something I'm hiding in my pocket.
Yeah.
This is a great plan. It's backed by the president's economic advisors. Mm-hmm. And it will mean a gradual, stable, fiscally responsible way to get to zero. No hike in other taxes. No property tax hike. No nasty surprises. It works.
You know, I love about this as far as it being personal to you. In every place that I've seen you when you've gone out on the stump, you always mention your daughter and your grandkids and how, because you understand this, like it isn't going to be enough for your family to stay next door to you because they love grandma. If it becomes too expensive to raise those kids, to save enough money to put those kids through college, they're going to have to tell grandma, sorry, but we've got to go. And this is why it's turned in. You always said that this was personal to you. The reason why you joined this race was to keep your family close by. And that is sort of the blood in everything that you do. And I think the reason why you resonate, even if you know, it doesn't matter where you poll. I keep seeing your poll numbers rise because they're all saying the same thing. I talk to Craig in the car. He tells me all the time, listen, I love Connecticut, but it's getting too expensive to stay here. My wife is saying it's getting too expensive. It may not be profitable for us to stay. We may have to go. I was talking to Joey right here. They've got a 5-year plan. If things don't step up, they've got to go. So you mean your proposal to do that keeps people in the state that they love and they don't have to be torn away from it?
Exactly. Tell them to hold on. Relief is coming. And you're right. My youngest daughter and her husband and their 2 little children, my grandson Michael, just 6 months old, Do you think I want them moving to South Carolina or Texas or Florida or one of those low-tax, high-growth states? No, I want them to grow up right next door to me, so we got to do this.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Betsy. So, again, everyone, if you want to check out how it can be done, go to Betsy2026.com. Again, Betsy2026.com. She has given everyone the template. She is giving away the goods here, everybody, on how she can get this done and how together, if you really care about how much it costs to live in the state of Connecticut, join her and join her plan. Even if anything, incorporate Betsy's plan and talk to your elected official that says you need to read this and see if we can get this done. If it can't be done now, if it can't be done, if we can't wait until, the election day or at least inauguration day to get this done, start talking to people now and say, can this be done? And if it can, let's work on it now.
That's right. Call it your own. It doesn't have to be the Betsy plan. It can be the Reese on the radio plan.
God bless you. Betsy, let me ask you real quick. You heard the Connecticut Democrats put out this statement about Donald Trump and tariffs, telling Donald Trump that he owes Connecticut $2.3 billion because of the illegal tariffs.
Crazy.
I laughed.
I heard the mayor of New Britain blame the departure of Stanley Black and Decker on tariffs, and I thought tariffs protect manufacturing here. They don't drive it away.
Exactly. Talk about not understanding how tariffs work. Right. They were already doing the thing that avoids the tariffs, and that was building in the United States.
Let me tell. Do we have time to talk about one more thing?
Real quick.
Okay, real quick. What happened in the legislature today is a violation of our rights. Passing this bill that included funding Islamic studies, all these mandates on local school districts, and tremendous earmarks that are funding Lamont's Get Out the Vote effort for his own reelection. If he signs that bill, he ought to be sued in federal court for denying us a Republican form of government. And guess who would like to file that lawsuit?
Oh, you know what? Couldn't agree with you more. Rozan.
And I'll be your paralegal.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a violation of our rights. We were talking about a lot of that, especially this whole sort of voter nonsense where you can't find out who's on the voter rolls now. Now they're protecting that. It's insane. But thank you for bringing that up, Betsy. I can't wait to see you. We'll see you very soon, and we'll talk to you real soon. Okay.
Thank you.
You got it. Betsy
Bye-bye.
McCaughey.
You're a freedom fighter.
Thank you so much, Betsy. I appreciate you. And thank you for loving my article, I Want to Live Where the White People Are.
That was great.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day. Yeah, Betsy McCaughey, everybody. And I'm really upset about this whole I'm really upset about this. This is like, how does this not work?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's a mess. Anyway, we got to take a break. Coming up, Jerry is. Let me go to Jerry real quick since we're on the phone today. Hello, Jerry. How are you? Jerry?
Oh, this is Jared.
Oh, Jared. Oh, I'm sorry, Jared. I'm sorry. Right. Hey, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm okay. What do you got for me?
You've had me chomping at the bit since earlier in the show.
Hey,
when we were talking about Ben Proto.
Yes, I know that people, they're not a fan. But, I was under the impression the guy was coming or gunning for my debate. And, like I said, never undermine me. I don't do that to people. And when people do it to me, I see blood. So.
Well, I just feel like there's a reason here that, that Ben. Well, let me just go back to when Ben was elected back in, was it 2021, right? Mm-hmm. What was the first thing that he said when the Connecticut Post asked him? He said, well, we can't win if we're not working together, right?
Yeah.
What was really wonderful about the race was that there was no negativity. No one was attacking anyone.
Yeah.
And these are all things that you're saying in this 11th Amendment debate.
Yeah.
Is that, we're not going to talk about each other. We're going to talk about, how we're going to make this state better. Just
exactly.
Like Betsy said. Just like what Betsy said. I have, and I'm going to abide by the rules here. I'm going to go by the 11th Amendment rule. No hating on other candidates here.
Right.
But what are we being fed? Who are we telling? I mean, it almost sounds like, here's what you're going to have to eat. You don't get a choice of anything else.
Exactly. And that's my point. And I was trying to stay away from that because, again, dumb as I may be, and I know I'm going to be called naive for it, Jared. You're 100% right. I'm going to be called naive because I'm giving people the benefit of the doubt. And what I'm trying to tell them is, if you, in your right mind, suggest to me or anybody else, you don't even pick up the phone to dial my number. If you say that there's a process, if you say the word to me, there's a process, I go, yeah, we are exercising that process, and the people are going to decide, not you and not anyone else. Because if they lose faith, you can forget about it. What are we doing this for? If you're telling me that I've got to follow the process doesn't work and we lose. You want to win? Obviously, we've got to acclimate. Yes?
Absolutely. And when I met Ben Proto last year, I met him. I was working for Steve Bannon out at, and this was out at American Fest.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him in the lobby of the hotel we were staying in, and he was staying with all the people he was with. I didn't see him going to any events. He was sitting there eating in the lobby the whole time, pretty much.
Okay.
So I went up to him and I said, "Hey, Ben, I'm from Connecticut as well." And he was very excited. You know, I knew who he was. You know, there's Ben Proto. And by the way, in person, he looks exactly as what he represents. Okay. I'll just say that. But as soon as I mentioned I worked for Steve, his tone went completely different. He is not America first, and he is exactly, when he told you at that, when you had him on the show a few months ago, I think it was a few months ago, that I love Trump, and you know,
he has been criticized greatly for that.
He is not a Trump backer. He told me that one of his best friends is Rosa DeLauro. She goes to all his parties down there in Stratford that my father caters. I know it's true.
Wait.
I know it's true.
Jared, I gotta go to a break. I know it's coming up, but listen, I got your number. We'll chat later. I'm sorry that I couldn't keep you on for longer, but I had Betsy on.
No worries. I got it.
God bless you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. We'll be back. Mark Christopher's out. That means Tom O'Hanlon is in. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app. Search WTIC News Talk 1080 and tap earlier today to get started.
I don't mean to always drag our private conversations into the radio show, but I have to do it now because sometimes you say stuff that I have to respond by going, "Are you insane? I love you, but are you crazy? Just tell me.
Do you remember that show Snapped?
Yes, but you talk about it all the time. Technically, at this point,
most of those women were either perimenopausal or like full-blown menopausal. I'm just saying.
I bet you none of their husbands were as great as I am. Okay,
you know.
I don't watch the program. I don't know.
Okay.
So we're having a debate. Roland, come. I need you in here as an impartial.
And I want to hear you too.
He's going to go be on the regular microphone. Mm-hmm. Just be a part of this. You don't listen to our conversations, although you should. You'll get quite the laugh. She's on her computer, as tablet. I called it. What is it?
Tablet.
Thank you. It's a tablet.
Doesn't matter. I was saying to her.
I'm sorry. It does
matter.
She
couldn't get into her X account.
It does matter.
We'll get to it.
What did you call it, Roland?
We'll get to it. He called it a tablet.
It's a tablet.
Whatever.
Okay.
You were trying to get into your X account, and I said, all you have to do is go on your computer and open up a second account on your X account, and you can go to your Grok, your subscription, Grok.
You need a prescription.
So your subscription, Grok. And she says to me, Roland, here's what she says to me. She goes, "You mean iPad?" And I went, "Yeah, I said computer." She goes, "Yes, it's an iPad." I was like, "And this means what?" It's a computer.
No, that's a computer.
No, the argument is to suggest that the iPad is not a computer, as I said, is like saying, "Hey, have some fruit," and you go, "But that's an apple."
No.
As if it's the same thing.
That's like you saying, "Have an orange," and you're handing me an apple. And I'm like, "No, it's an apple."
That's different.
That's what you're doing.
That's different. What you are on is a computer.
No.
What is it not?
It's a tablet. A tablet allows for a lot more functions than a regular computer. So when you say computer, you're limiting the tablet functionality.
I am
so to speak.
Riddle me this, Batman. Computer or phone?
Computer!
It's a phone.
It may operate as a phone, but you do computer stuff with it.
Hey,
Some
Roland,
people,
can you
phone,
find us
a tablet? That's why they have different. Otherwise, everything would just be computer 1, computer
Roland,
2,
can you find
computer 3.
Can you find an abacus so we can have Reese determine if it's a computer or a...
John Beckman says, I'm from the Bronx. What's a computer?
You go find one at a Bogota.
At a Bogota.
At a Bogota. Wow.
Oh, I am so done with all of you. It's a computer. Doesn't matter if it's a tablet, or iPad, or a Samsung device. It is a computer.
You're telling your age, Reese.
That's what I knew. That's what it was. I knew it. Let's get another check of traffic and weather. Mark Christopher is out. He would help me here. Instead, we have Tom O'Hanlon. He's in a BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
First, I want to thank Rob Vardaro, and I want to thank Betsy McCaughey for being our guest on the program today. Thank you, Rob, for driving all the way out. Happy trails getting back home. I hope he's listening on the way, and I'll give you a shout-out later on as well. You know what? Stevie V is a avid supporter of the Reese on the Radio program and, of course, loves Rozan, but he had a great idea. Computer Talk with Tab airs on Saturdays between 9 and 11 a.m. right here on this network. I don't know if they take phone calls, but they're getting one tomorrow.
Listen, we can just drive right over and be like, hey.
That's what we'll do.
Hey, real quick. While you're here.
We'll come in and we will totally argue right on their show.
I just want to say, Apple's official iPad page, apple.com/iPad.
Yeah.
Do not call it a computer. It lists models as iPad Pro, iPad Air, iPad, and iPad Mini with descriptions focused on a thin and light design, all screen, and performance. Apple maintains separate product categories.
So what? What do you mean? What? To sit here and say, don't call it a computer. Who says that?
It's an Apple.
Who says don't call it a computer? That's like someone who turns around, right? He makes a breakfast cereal. It's in the breakfast aisle. And then he goes, but don't call it breakfast. I'm like, shut up. It's breakfast.
It's not a computer.
No, it's first of all.
It has computing capabilities. It is not, however, we just talked about this. What was that? Magnificent numbers? Figures?
Oh, hidden figures.
Yes, those women.
Yes, were women.
They were called computers. Why? Because all they did was compute. That was their job.
No, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely dumb.
McGirt. That is fact-based,
This is the stupidest debate ever.
Well, because you're wrong.
John Beckman says, I consider my iPhone a computer. Everyone does.
Because it computes, yes. However, it is not a computer.
Isn't that the whole idea?
No, if that were the case, my calculator would be a computer.
Technically, it is.
No, it's not. Oh, my God. I can't believe you're this retractable. Retentive.
Listen.
McGirt.
The bottom.
Snapped. It's happening.
It's happening.
You should just go ahead and let your friend know tonight we're not going to make it to dinner because you're going to be dead. You're going to be dead.
Because of this stupid argument?
Absolutely.
That's the reason why, because this argument is stupid.
It's so stupid.
It is. It's the stupidest argument ever. I'm sitting up here saying, I couldn't believe it when I called it a computer. You actually had to stop me and say, you mean tablet. You mean tablet.
Because
you're correcting me.
It's an iPad. It's not even a tablet. It's an iPad.
I'm disappointed in you.
That's okay. It wouldn't be the first. Probably won't be the last.
John Beckman chimes in again. He says, I'm from the Bronx. What's breakfast? John Beckman, be quiet.
Go to the Bogota.
These people are silly. They are so silly. Wait. Thank you. I'm a computer expert, says Sokolowski. Guess what he says? Apple is an Apple computer.
Right. An Apple computer is an Apple computer.
Yes.
Right. This is an iPad.
Bushwhacker says my smartphone has more computing power than
Then why is it called a smartphone?
Wait. He said my smartphone has more computing power than what put man on the moon.
That is based in fact. However, why is it called a phone?
Because
it's a phone
that does computer stuff.
Yeah, still a phone.
Still
a phone.
And my computer can make phone calls.
So can mine. It doesn't make it a phone.
No, I get that because its primary function is not a phone.
Yeah, this is a tablet. Its primary function is to function as a tablet.
We're all going to get yelled at right now. What's up, Craig?
I hope we can regenerate brain cells, because if not, we're all dead tomorrow.
We can, and none of us smoke weed. We're getting our brain cells back.
Who needs brain cells?
Roseanne, I love you.
I will fight you.
But you can. That's okay. I'm going to lose. I already know it. It's fine. I respect your service. All of that. You can be a computer and not be a smartphone.
That's true.
You can be a computer and not be a tablet.
That's right.
You can't be a tablet and not be a computer, and you can't be a smartphone and not be a computer.
That sort of, but they are called.
Hello?
They are called what they are called. They are titled what they are titled, based specifically on their operating purposes, their functionality, and a multitude of reasons.
Well, okay, let me ask you a weird question. It's a great question coming from Michael A. How often do you use it as a phone compared to using it as a computer?
Okay, so when I'm talking to somebody, we're doing FaceTime, I will do it quite regularly because of the functions that my tablet has.
No, I'm talking about your phone here. How often do you use your phone as a call, somebody to call with, versus doing other stuff like going online?
I ain't talking on the phone.
That's all I need to say.
I don't even like talking to you on the phone, and I picked you.
This is true.
The only time I want to talk on the phone is if it's FaceTime.
Okay.
And I use it for FaceTime, but I use it for a multitude of things.
Yes, and
however,
the least of which is on the phone,
however,
right?
This is still a smart what?
Phone. I'm not arguing there.
Our car.
Hey.
Go ahead, Craig.
Oh, my God. Roseanne.
No,
Roseanne.
I'm right. You guys are wrong.
Do you know why mobsters have burner phones?
So they can throw them away.
Because they're not smart. They're not computers.
Actually, they are.
They're analog.
That's right.
They're analog. They're not digital.
Thank you.
Not
you
necessarily.
Can FaceTime because it has. You FaceTime because it has computing capabilities.
Correct.
There you go.
But it's still a phone.
Thank you, Craig.
No.
You can try. You can try.
A phone.
Let me grab everybody else. I got a bunch of people on
I'm not
here.
walking around going, hey, let me call you on my computer. That's not what I'm doing. I'll call you on my phone. We have a smart car. Well, we don't, but people do. Is it a car or is it a computer? It has computing capabilities, therefore it's a car.
I'm moving on. Sorry.
Wow.
Bob is in Waterbury. Hello.
How you doing, Reese?
What's up?
Rough. That's rough. I think I'm pretty sure Stanley Black & Decker left because no one's buying the tape measures that you hook on your
you know what? And they said that in their statement is that the use of tape measures.
Right. Yeah, because no one's using it. You can use your smartphone to do that.
Still a phone. Still a phone.
And another thing, you eating about 1 million grapes a day. I was into a banana kick, and I heard through the grapevine that too many bananas is bad for you because of all the sugar.
Yeah.
That might be the same thing with the grapes, too.
Yes, grapes are high in sugar, but they're also really high in water content, so it's very good for hydration. So
yeah, but still, too much sugar.
Sugar
is bad.
You're absolutely right, and I do need to cut down. And I'm slowing down a little bit, and plus I'm cutting down on my sugar intake altogether anyway. So raw sugar I'm not doing.
Okay, we'll put that in your computer.
Thank you, buddy.
Smoke it.
I deserved every bit of that. Sam's in Waterbury. Hello, Sam.
My favorite day is Friday. I get a chance to hear Roseanne on the radio.
Hello. Still a phone.
I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
Now, they say if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there to hear it,
doesn't make a sound.
Does it? Right. Now, if Reese is walking around talking to himself and Rozan is not there to hear him, is he still wrong?
You want to know what the crazy thing is? 11 times out of 10, and it's really freaking annoying, he's right. It actually makes me I can't say the word, so I'll just say angry, right? This is one time you are not right. Just take the freaking L. Just take the L.
I'll take the L if it'll make you peaceful for the rest of the day.
I love this.
Thank you so much, Sam. I appreciate you, man. You have a wonderful weekend, okay?
You too. All right.
Buddy. Brian is in Bristol. How are you, Brian?
I love you guys. You're a special kind of special.
That's what my mama said.
I just wanted to share something. Since you were talking about one of my my favorite untrustworthy people earlier today.
Oh, Mr. Proto?
I just wanted to... No, our illustrious senator.
Oh, yes, Mr. Murphy.
Well, I call him McDoofy. You can call him what you want.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to share something because like years ago I had met him, and I know you said like people don't affect you, but I had like a visceral reaction when I met the guy.
Oh, did you?
Let me share another thing, another person that I met that was a similar response. So years ago, I hung out with a bunch of guys. We all owned a bunch of cars, either hot rods or old cars to go to car shows, what have you. Mm-hmm. One of the guys was a mechanic, and he brought this guy that he worked with. We'll call him Creepy Mechanic. Mm-hmm. And he introduced us to him. And when I shook this guy's hand, I had a visceral reaction. And I immediately thought, oh, my God, this guy's creepy. And my first reaction was, I will never let anybody I love or near this guy because I don't trust this guy. Anyway, time went on through the year. The guy just stopped showing up, whatever. Finally, someone asked, what happened to Creepy Mechanic? And the dude who brought him said, oh, he's in jail. He sexually assaulted and tried to unalive some girl.
Wow.
And I was like, and so this one other guy, I had told him, I knew his girlfriend, I knew the family, very beautiful soul of a girl, but extremely naive. And I said to him, if you love that girl, don't let her anywhere near this guy, ever. And so when that happened, he looked at me, he's like, dude, how did you know? And I said, I don't know, I just had this reaction, like when I shook his hand, my skin crawled. Well, anyway, fast forward a couple years, I was at a business event. Our illustrious senator was still a state in the state senate, or still in the state office. I met him and I shook his hand, and all I'm going to say is, maybe it wasn't as strong a reaction, but I had a very similar reaction. Like, do not trust this guy. Don't let anybody you love near him. I'm not making any accusations against
accusations. Yeah.
Accusations against the guy, whatever. But I'm just saying that I had a reaction, and I don't trust the guy. And based on that experience, people can do with that what they will and make their own judgments. But that was just my
Hey, you know what?
experience.
Listen, if you ask me, I think the guy's a worm. I think you listen to me. I would take your advice on that no matter what, because he's proven to me time and time again that he is an absolute worm. In so many ways, and he keeps outdoing himself every time. So I think you're 2 for 2 on this one, my friend.
Yeah, I don't call it intuition or what, I don't know what it was, or spidey sense or whatever you want to call it. But and then based on what your guest had said, you know, he went and made some statements that he was pushed in these other things that never happened.
Yeah,
and that supports what you just said.
Exactly. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate you, buddy.
You're welcome.
You got it. Last but not least, let's go to Brian in Suffield. Hello, Brian.
Hi, Reese. How are you? Love your show.
Thank you, sir.
I'm trying to get you a W here because I know nothing about technology. But doesn't a computer run on an operating system?
Yes, it does. It does run on an operating system.
Then why did Apple just tell me to update the operating system on my iPhone?
Yes, absolutely. He did.
So do you drive a computer or do you drive a car?
Well,
I'm just asking. Do you drive a computer or do you drive a car?
The car has a computer in it.
It has a computer in it, but it's not a computer. It's a car.
But that would be insane to suggest that the car is now a computer because there's a computer in it. I'll give you a perfect example.
Has computing technology in it does not make it a computer.
Wait a minute. Does an IT building mean it's no longer a building?
I don't know. It has computers in it. Is it a computer?
I think I also got a message that said I had to update the operating system on my iWatch.
That's it. It's the operating system on his iWatch. I'm just saying.
Is it a computer or is it a watch?
Well, does it do more than just tell time?
Absolutely. But is it a watch or is it same thing? Is it a car or is it a computer? Is it a building or is it a computer?
How about a computer-operated watch?
Sure.
That's exactly.
But it's still a watch.
It's a cow.
It's still a watch.
Go ahead, Brian. Last word. Go ahead.
I'm trying to get you the W, and I got a question from way back when you bought the $300 pie.
Yes, the $300 pie.
Oh yeah.
Now, did she make you put in? Well, you gave her a budget of $1,000 to put in the apartment.
Oh, wait a minute. Was that the rule? I had to give you $1,000 to put into the apartment?
Honestly, I don't remember.
I totally forgot about that.
I was just wondering if she made you buy a $5,000 dining table.
No.
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
I'm on a mission.
She actually totally went in another direction on that one. I totally forgot about that. Thanks for reminding her. I'll hear about it all night.
Oh, then my job here is complete.
You got it, boss. Thanks, Brian. You have a good one. All right, folks, we got to get up out of here. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. She is Rozan on the radio. Say goodnight, Rozan.
It's still an iPad.
Say goodnight, Rozan.
Good night, Rozan.
You guys have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow. We'll see you back here on Monday. Have a fantastic 51-degree Saturday.
Woo! Heat wave.
And then turn the heat up because it's going to be cold as hell. Mark Christopher's out, but Tom O'Hanlon's getting you home. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Mañana.